But yeah, man, thanks for doing this. I appreciate you being here and all. It's been a long time coming, So
Tim, you're so welcome.
thanks, brother.
Yeah.
I maybe like for those who don't know you, just give like a quick intro to like who you are and your background and how you got into this wild sport of chase tag.
Yeah. I'm Roland Hannigan. I've been doing chase tag for, I don't know, what, 5 years now? Dang, that's kind of crazy to think about. But since 2021, and then parkour for like 12 years now.
12 years is crazy. Didn't you just drop a video recently that was like 10 years or 12 years? What was it?
It was called 11 Years Deep.
11 years deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Video was sick, by the way. If you haven't
Thank
seen it, people go watch it. It's pretty awesome.
I appreciate it.
So 12 years. And when did you first start doing parkour?
I started in 2014 or like maybe like I say the start date is like May in uh 2014, but I like visited the parkour gym like one or two times like 6 months before that. And I originally went with a friend from school who like wasn't that into it and wouldn't go back. And then I was too like nervous or embarrassed to go by myself. So I like my first class was like a palm flips class. I walked in and all we did was palm flips. And it was
No
like,
way. No
what am I
way.
supposed to do? So I got like nothing out of that like first class or two. And because of that, the fact that a beginner could walk into a palm flips class like turned me away because I was like, I can't do this. But my sister came home from college like 6 months later and was like, "Do you still go to that parkour gym?" And I was like, "Not really." And she's like, "Will you please go with me?" And then I went with her. And then after that, I like kind of stuck with it. And that's my beginning of the sport.
Wow, it's so interesting that like you almost had a bad experience that fully turned you away from the sport to begin with, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I wouldn't call it necessarily like a bad experience, but it wasn't a good experience. Like it was, when I watched parkour growing up, it was kind of this thing of like, oh, you gotta be, like, born kinda, like, special, or you gotta be, like, this really, like, ballsy guy to do this, and I, like, wasn't that. I was never, like, the best at any sports. I was, like, the shortest kid in my class every year. I just didn't think, like, I could ever do something that cool, and then you walk into a palm flips class, and you see some other guy learn a palm flip on their like, I don't know how long this guy's been going to the gym, but there was a guy that, like, learned palm flips that day, and I was like, "Oh, like, of course he can do that," and that guy had been going to the gym for, like, a couple years now, but I didn't know that at the time. So, it's like, of course he can do that, but I'm never gonna be able to do this. So it kinda reaffirmed my belief that, like, this is too hard for me. Um, but then going back, I think I had a better experience, like, like, again, it wasn't a bad experience at the beginning, but it wasn't good. It kinda just was like, "Alright, that was cool, but, like, I'm not gonna be able to do that." Whereas the next time I went, I think it was probably a more beginner-based class, and, like, I kinda got into it.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how many kids even that come to our gym, for example, have an experience like that where something's like too hard or like, oh, that was fun, but like I'm not gonna be able to do that. Like, I didn't even think of
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing to think
I
about.
guess I haven't really thought about that. Like, on the grand scheme of, like, the kids that I've coached, like, did I teach that kid in a good enough way where, like, his first experience was good? I guess I haven't, like, reflected on that, but
Yeah, I
that
think
is
like
interesting.
we definitely try to think about it a lot. Like I know when we have kids that like, it's their first time in the gym, we go out our way to like, oh, like try to like, get them to like meet some friends here. Like we'll introduce them to kids in class and like try to like get them more involved in things because yeah, that is like hard when it's your first day and you just get like demolished by whatever skill it is. Like why would you want to come back if you can't do anything? So that's
Yeah.
fair. But yeah, that's interesting. So you went back with your sister, you got into it, and then look at you now, bro. Now you're like a professional athlete. You're doing comps all around the world and stuff. Like, who would have imagined if you didn't go back with your sister, you'd never have done any of those
Yeah, dude,
things.
I'd be sitting at home playing, like, Minecraft right now. I'd be a slob.
Yeah, I mean, now you've come a long way. So all these comps you've done and stuff now, what's been your biggest takeaway so far in parkour? We'll get the chase tag eventually, but
With, like, comps?
yeah, like you've been doing so many competitions, FIG, all these things. Like, what's been your biggest takeaway so far?
Um, Dang, I don't know. I guess there's, like, a couple ways I look at it, like, kinda relating back to that whole, like, with the sport as a whole, even, like, just my skill level, it's like, wow, like, I never would have thought I could do half the things I can do today until, like, compete, and not just compete with, but, like, contend with, like, other top athletes in the world. Like, even if I'm not winning, it's like, I'm not, like, getting last place. Like, I'm putting up a fight in, like, the speed comps that I do and, like, in chase tag, like, it it's cool to, like, realize that just sticking with it for this long, I've gotten to a point where it's like, I just can't believe what I can do. I don't know, it's like, I can't believe I became this person that I've always wanted to be, you know?
Dude, that's yeah, it's crazy. I feel like for me, parkour and ninja both had such an effect on me like that. Whereas like I also like was a kid who was also the shortest in my class, like you were saying, was like not
Hell
very
yeah.
big, you know. Like I get that fully.
Couple of short
Yeah,
kings
let's
over
go,
here.
baby. And like
See
for
that?
me,
Barely even able to touch each other across this room. So
Exa
short.
exactly. But for me, it was the same. It was like it gave me this whole new respect for myself and for the world even, like, just, like, being able to go outside and, like, see a picnic table and be like, "Oh, I can do, like, 100 things on this picnic table right now." Like,
Yeah,
it really just kinda changes how you view the world. It's so
definitely.
interesting, but it's cool that parkour has been an outlet for both of us to, like, overcome and become better versions of ourselves, essentially.
Yeah.
So I wish more kids would get involved in it. But there's like it seems like there's a barrier to entry for people if you don't have a gym or like a good spots nearby. Like it's kind of hard to get involved into it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I mean, like I had like parks nearby and stuff. There were no gyms when I first started. Was it similar for you? You had that gym.
I did,
Yeah.
but it wasn't something like, I mean, they're so, like, hidden a lot of times, like, it's not this heavily promoted facility, like, mine was, like, a gym, like, 30 minutes away from my house, like, near Minneapolis or whatever, um, and yeah, like, I had to, like, look it up, like, my I didn't even know about it, my friend, like, went to it, a different friend went, like, months before, and he had a cut on his arm or something. I was like, "Oh, what's that Band-Aid for?" And he's like, "Oh, I fell at a parkour gym, like, it's so hard." And I just kinda, like, didn't think about it, but a couple months later, I was like, "A parkour gym?" And I had to, like, look into it. But I would have never learned this without a facility to, like, train in or coaches to tell me how to do it. I wasn't like a kid that would go outside and, like, learn this on my own. I don't have enough, like, self like, direction, I guess. Like, I would give up pretty easily as a kid. So I feel like having these places is super important for it makes it more accessible for any kid, not just the kids that can go out and send a backflip on the grass without any equipment or any coach. Like, those kids are gonna learn how to backflip no matter what. But I think the kids that aren't as self-determined or not as confident do need a facility like Dexterity Depot or, like, the gym I started at or Motive where I coach now. Like, I think those places are really important.
Yeah, that I agree. I mean, for me, unlike you, I didn't have a gym, so I just watched YouTube videos, freaking
Yeah,
went outside, just did whatever I could to learn.
that's sick.
Eventually went to gymnastics gyms and started flipping into foam pits and things like that. But it was mainly self-taught for the first I don't even know how many years, at least 2 years probably. And then I guess my first parkour coach officially kind of was when I was at the movement lab or warrior lab rather. They taught me some things and stuff, but a lot of it was self-taught. But you're right, like I feel like yeah, it's cool to have so many gyms pop up, but it's still you're right, like parkour isn't the most known by any means.
Yeah.
And it's like I wonder if it even will get there one day. I mean, I think it will. I mean, with FIG, all these things going on, like SPL, like there are so many big organizations that are pushing the sport of parkour.
Yeah.
But still, like, if you're not involved in the community, I feel like it's harder to kind of know about it.
Yeah,
Unless you see, like, a
definitely.
store video maybe. I guess that's another I mean, yeah, store is a huge part in people getting into parkour as well.
Yeah.
All the social media content and whatnot, but what are your thoughts on that?
I have, like, a couple big thoughts on it because there's, like, a couple different directions, like, the sport could go, and it doesn't mean that that's the both of these routes could exist at the same time, but it's, like, different ways to look at it. So, like, one big thing is, like, if you look at the ninja community has a, like, really good comp circuit, especially for kids, which I think is super important because if you want a sport like this to grow, one of the biggest ways it can grow is, uh you need more kids in it because you need the next generation to build up and keep going. Um, but right now, a lot of parents that sign their kids up, it's just a hobby. Like their kid likes to do flips, and if you have a chill, like go with the flow parent, like they're like, "Oh, this looks cool. Like I want my kid to just do fun stuff." Like those parents are going to sign their kids up, and that's awesome. But there's like another half of parents that I want my kid to be a winner or like I want my kid to like have like goals to work towards it. Like they want more meaning in it. Like and like that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's definitely a lot of parents that like see this as a waste of time because you're just goofing around, you're just having fun and they want their kid to do something that could like build them a future. And when there's no competitions, no circuit, there's only a handful of professional athletes, like there's no route for people to go. So when like a parent like that brings their kid in and they're like, "Hey, like what's the goal with this?" And all the people are like, "Oh, well, it's just to, like, have fun." That parent's gonna, like, the second their kid is like, "Oh, I'm not really feeling it," they're like, "Awesome, we can save 100, $200 a month not paying for your gym membership if you don't wanna do this." But if the kid's like, "Oh, I don't feel it this week," and the parent's like, "Okay, but you gotta stick with it. There's, like, a comp coming up next week. Like, let's." I feel like competitions is a big route for this sport to go, and I think mimicking some of the ninja, like, I don't know what you call that there,
Yeah,
role
the league and
playing.
stuff. Yeah, game plan, business plan. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think like that's the one thing. Like, we don't have a parkour team here. We have a great ninja team, one of the best
Yep.
in the world. But it's like for parkour, there's no comps that really exist around here locally.
Yeah,
I know, like,
especially for kids.
so I mean, for kids especially, yeah, like the kids are that next generation and are like ultimately what fuels the business here as a gym goes. But with parkour, there's not comps, so it's not like it doesn't make sense for me to put time into my schedule to have an official parkour team, and there's nowhere really for them to go around here. Because most of the comps that do exist, even with SPL, and it is becoming more and more common now, and they're doing a great job of doing that. So shout out SPL,
Mhm.
but they're all like super far up north. So like for us to travel 6 hours, 8 hours for parkour comp is just like kind of hard to have a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, comps are a good are important for sure, especially those youth comps like you're saying.
Yeah.
But you said there's a second path you saw too. What's that one?
Yeah, so I've been talking to Alex about this recently, and I've talked to, Audrey Johnson about this a little bit of, I guess it kinda connects to, like, how you can get more adults into the sport. So if you were to, like, mimic rock climbing and bouldering gyms that are open, like, all day long and people just come in and kinda, like, do their own thing. Like, it's completely self-led, but it's this sport that's, like, very self-led, and when you walk in the facility, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. And it's so obvious of, like, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the top, like, chains or gyms in the country for bouldering, it's like they're all color coordinated, they're all labeled what grade they are, and it's like all the red holds in the gym are V0. So you walk in the gym and you can just, as a the newbiest beginner who's never done anything before, you can just find red and it's like, all right, I'm just going up. Like, it's so straightforward what you're doing. And I think that makes it really easy for anyone to walk in the gym and just kind of like do it for a little bit and go home. And then, they come back the next day or a couple days a week and they just try new things. Whereas a parkour gym, when you walk into it as an adult, is very overwhelming. And there's no direction when you walk in, right? Like, I feel like you have to take at the very least some sort of intro class or one or two classes to be like, okay, I kind of get how to move. And maybe that's an important thing when you're the first time you come into the gym. Maybe gym should have like an intro class to lead you a bit. But if you had almost like routes set up like a climbing gym and uh you have like a route setter for parkour challenges around the gym. So almost like a skills comp, like, once every couple of weeks, your coaches set new routes or challenges that are very similar to how a skills comp would run, that are just so intuitive. Like, whether you come up with like symbols or patterns or colors or a mix of all these things of like, you know, the symbol of a pair of like feet from one wall and the pair of feet on another wall, and it's the color green. And those feet both symbolize that you're doing a jump from one wall to the other, and green means it's like a V0. It's like a beginner, like the easiest jumps in the gym, right? And then you could have that same pattern, but in a different color to indicate that it's a harder challenge. But it's a way for someone to walk in the gym and be like, oh, I get it.
That's a really interesting idea. Yeah. I think it's a really cool idea actually. It's interesting because on the podcast I had Matt Bradley, he also had similar thoughts with Ninja, where Ninja could be like a bouldering gym, like you're saying, where anyone can go in, see these obstacles, be able to do them. They don't need to be led or like structured or things. So
Yeah.
it's a good idea for sure. I'd
Yeah.
be interested, like parkour. I feel like is also a big part of it is the freedom to do what you want and stuff. So like I don't know. Do you think like having all these set challenges might like interfere with the creativity side of things as well? Like being able to go and like create your own challenges and find things.
I don't think at all.
I mean, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who doesn't know anything about parkour and you just see these challenges, like maybe it only teaches you to look at things in a certain way versus like how you and I learn. We're like able to go outside and like find challenges by looking or going to new spots and like making things up. You know what I mean? Like if they're
Yeah.
reliant on that. I wonder if that'll affect them or not.
I don't think so, because it's like anytime you learn something, like, you're not going out and, like, creating this, like, sick flowy, like, combo or line when you go out. Like, you have to learn how to do a precision jump. You have to learn how to do a lache. Like, you have to drill the basics still. So I don't think that, like, limits you in any way. Um, and I also don't think that, like, this sport, even though it is about like creativity and expression, that's not like all the sport's about. And I don't think that like you I don't know, I'm trying to I don't wanna phrase this as, like, because in my head, I hear what other people say that I disagree with, and I don't wanna, like, group people into 2 different groups, but, like, some people who are very creative in this sport can complain sometimes, and I'm not, like, trying to say it's, like, all creative people, but I've heard complaints from creative people that, like, about people who just do big tricks and don't focus on creativity or connections, and it's like, both of those things are like equal in my head. Like they're just different forms of this sport and like things that you can do within it. So like personally, I'm not very creative. And I also don't necessarily strive to be much more creative. Like I get out of the sport what I want from it. And I don't necessarily desire to be the best or the most creative. I'm just like stoked at the things that I've been able to do. And sometimes I push myself or it's fun to come up with something creative, but like I'm much more like challenge based. I feel like coming up with a little challenge or a little combo and just like completing it as good as I can is like the best feeling to me. So like I think that's a great way to get into the sport is learning the basics, getting that feeling of success by single challenges or combos and then as you have more skills, you have more things to get creative with and if being more creative and coming up with newer ways to move is what interests you, it's so much easier to just funnel into that direction and focus on it.
Yeah, I can agree. There's definitely like fundamental skills you like, yeah, you should learn. Also to help you be safe and how to navigate things, understand how to move your body through space and through obstacles. Then yeah, then you can start being creative. But I want to go back to that point you said about how certain people have certain views, like, oh, well, this isn't because remember years ago, like if you did a flip, that wasn't parkour, that was free
Yeah.
running. You know what I mean? Like I feel like parkour's always had kind of like an identity crisis where it's like, what's parkour, what's not parkour? Is doing a 10-foot precision harder than doing a backflip. You know what I mean? Like people have always debated these things. But I'm in the same camp as you. I feel like parkour is just parkour. Like, it includes all those things.
Yeah.
There's like different styles. Like in martial arts, there's so many different martial arts that exist, and in parkour, it's the same thing. There's just different ways to move through obstacles.
Mhm.
So, like for me, like I'm just equally as impressed watching Tim Champion hit like a giant Lachey Pre that I am watching Ellis crush freestyle runs. Like to me, it's the same level of difficulty. You know what I mean? Like
I wouldn't
different.
necessarily
Okay,
say
sorry,
all
sorry,
those
sorry.
things are the same level of
Yeah, yeah,
difficulty,
yeah. Sorry,
but,
sorry.
like,
Yeah,
yes, I agree with you that, like, both of those things in my head, like, I enjoy them both almost equally for different reasons, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. That's but to me, it's still parkour. Like I think
Yeah,
that's I guess the point I'm trying to make is like I think that parkour is just that's part parkour is. It's all the things, you know.
yeah,
So there's no point in like putting it in like a one box versus another. It can be everything.
yeah,
It's kind of what it is. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, and with even with competitions, there's obviously different formats and things, and I think that's cool. I think that's part of it. Like I know, like mainly competitions were speed and style when the comps first started. I mean, so many of
yep,
the first parkour comps were just style comps, all the Red Bulls, all the you know what I mean.
yeah,
And now it's cool to have like all the different aspects of parkour in the competitive scene, which is cool.
yes.
But yeah, so you have been doing FIG comps. Did you do SPL at all?
I tried on-sites, but I didn't qualify.
Fair. So what do you think of both those organizations?
Um, I mean, the organizations behind them, like, SPL is sick, like, clearly, like, the best grassroots, like, all-around parkour competition out there, like, I mean, there's no like argument with that. There's nothing else. SPL is the comp. Um, but as for like, I don't know, I'm not gonna talk about like the organization. Like there's definitely some shady areas with the actual organization of like FIG or like I don't even know if it's directly them or like I've heard stories of in some trying to think what countries it was. It was either like somewhere in like Central or South America or maybe one of the I feel like it was like a Spanish speaking country or like a Latin country, maybe in Europe somewhere. But there was some country that was like their gymnastics program was um like it was something like you could like gyms weren't being funded unless they were like going through FIG or something. So there's some like it's not happening everywhere, but there's definitely some stuff that I've heard at least that is very questionable at the very least. And if it's limiting the sport in that way, that's bad. So that's for organization wise, like that's the organizations behind it. But if we're talking about how the competitions run, the FIG comps, I love the speed comps. The speed comps I think are super sick. They're definitely different than a traditional parkour speed course. They're like twice as long. The top times are like for men, I think is like 25 to 30 seconds is usually the top times. And then the women's times I think are somewhere between like 30 and 35 seconds, I want to say, or maybe it's yeah, I think somewhere between 30 and 35 for the women's top time. So these are like long courses. It is a sprint. Um, but it's whereas I guess I'll say that the traditional comp is like 10 to 15 seconds, I feel like is a good parkour speed course length. And I feel like at that speed, you can have some more technicality in it. You get, you're at your max capacity the whole time. Like you are able to put in your max effort for 10 to 15 seconds. When you start getting to that 20-second length of time and over that, you start feeling fatigued in a different way. And I think it's fun to like push yourself in that way,
Hmm.
which has been a fun thing to like learn a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's also exciting 'cause it's head to head.
It is.
Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
And the other fun part I just want to say is that it's the other difference is although I like the technicality of a traditional parkour speed course, um, the opposite of that is like the FIG course where it's less technical, but you just get a sprint. Like it's so fun to like have these obstacles that are lined up to be like pretty ideal distances and lengths for you to just like speed vault as fast as you can. Like and then you climb up a wall as fast as you can. Like I think there could be a little bit more technical movement in the FIG courses with maintaining that speed, and it would make it even better. But like, man, it's fun to just sprint down and back with some obstacles in your way. Like, I love doing that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've never done any of those comps. For a long time, I was trying to do SPL. I was gonna try to compete in skill and speed, and then just once got involved with chase tag and we got the quad, especially like I just stopped. Unfortunately, training parkour as much as I'd like to. I miss it so much. It's so sad.
Yeah,
Oh god, I miss it. But yeah, I'd love to go there and even just watch. They seem to be a great time, great atmospheres, going hang out with everybody and stuff.
yeah.
Because you've been to a lot
Especially
of them now.
fees. Like, if you can get a chance to go to fees, a lot of people don't understand like what some of the competitions are. So FIG is like the federal, like international federal gymnastics, whatever. I don't know that. I can't remember that.
Federation of International Gymnastics, I think.
Boom, there
Yeah.
you go. Fees, which sounds kind of similar, is actually like kind of like an action sports festival in France. So FIG hosts one of the parkour World Cups at Fees. So going to Fees is insane. They build like 20 different skate parks for like BMX, skateboarding, rollerblading, scootering. They have breakdancing there. So they have like everything there. So when you're done competing or like no one's doing anything in the parkour section, you get to watch like high level athletes in every single sport. And it's so sick.
That does sound awesome.
Yeah.
That actually sounds so sick. I mean, it reminds me kind of obviously not to the same level, but the chase tag event we did in Belgium was like that was a big sports festival, tons of different things happening.
Exactly. But
That's
this is
yeah.
like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like the top athletes in every sport are coming to Fees to compete.
That sounds
Whereas I
incredible.
feel like the Belgium one was like a little bit
Yeah,
like
like a smaller venue or smaller event.
smaller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. That's crazy though. Yeah, I would love to go to more events like this. Maybe I should get back on my parkour training grind from like the good old days.
Yeah.
Because you're still like obviously training actively a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because for those of you but people that don't know, like you work at Motive, you train there and
Yep.
stuff. You don't really have access to a quad,
Nope.
so most of your training is parkour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of swing it slightly into chase tag. Like, how do you train chase tag when you're not at a quad, or you
No.
just yeah
There's no point.
yeah
No.
that's you just drill parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have any big events coming up? You said you're traveling soon, right? For
Yeah.
comps and stuff. Maybe
So the
talk about
first
that.
comp is like the FIG World Cup at Fees, which is in France. And then I think the next weekend is Gizmo, which is like in the scale of like different freestyle events. Um Gizmo is the one that like features like your creativity over everything. So at least that's my understanding of it, I think, is like a lot of mainstream comps, like difficulty is probably the highest graded thing. And mixed in with like flow and execution and everything, but like Gizmo seems to be like they put creativity as like the highest judging criteria. So you get a lot of people like really expressing themselves, doing goofy runs like that they just want like coming up with crazy ideas. Like I saw one post get shared where this guy like took his shirt off like halfway through the course, I think, or maybe he had an extra shirt, I can't remember. But he started like sliding down these wooden ramps on his shirt as like part of his run. And they had like a slanted trampoline on the course. So then like halfway through the course, he like jumps off a wall and like back bounces off the trampoline and like keeps going. So it's cool to have like all these different types of competition to like for every type of movement athlete. You know, you got speed courses, you got style or skill comps, you have SPL, which is probably like the most well-rounded of all the style comps. Like you have three different rounds. You got the big trick round, the combo round, the line round. And I think they do a decent job of like, not weighing difficulty over literally everything else, but like mixing in how well you flow together. Um, and then you have Fig, which clearly puts an emphasis on higher difficulty moves as your whole difficulty score is three big tricks.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is controversial, so, like so with the judging, like, I remember watching, like, Shay's run
Yeah.
from, like, one of the big comps, and then I saw the winning run, and I was like, "Bro, how did Shay lose?" Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it was that was at Fees, that was Shea versus Lautaro. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that winning. But like Shea's run was like perfect. But I'm also biased because like, dude, I'm Shea's biggest fan, bro. Like
Yeah.
Shea's the GOAT. Shea is the like greatest athlete in the world, dude. I love him. But
Shay's incredible, bro. That Kong gainer to the rail is insane
yeah, that was
from
nuts.
SPL. Like, what the heck? And didn't you say? I remember hearing you talk about. I think like the was it the step up pump flip over the gap, to, like the small little ledge. Or you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Apparently, you said that's like super messed up when you see it in person too, right? Like,
Yeah, because I was like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna do like dive, like palm flip or something? Or I think at first I thought he was just gonna do like wall flip. So he's like on a ledge. There's maybe like a 3 foot gap to the wall or something, and then back on this tiny ledge. And he like goes across the gap, does a 1 step palm flip, and it's like it was the grossest thing ever. And I still think that was like severely underscored because like I don't know how you would like grade this, but the concept of like would anyone else here do that? You know what I mean? Like there is that element of like, okay, maybe it's not physically the hardest thing, but like if nobody else would even consider doing what you just did, like clearly like I don't know, you have to like rank it higher, but you can almost do that with anyone's
I mean,
trick
especially
too.
with Ellis's stuff, man. Like, he definitely has
Yeah.
stuff like that.
No,
Like,
Ellis like I'm never gonna complain about Ellis's
oh
scores, bro.
yeah,
Ellis is up there.
he's the goat, bro. I swear,
Yeah.
he's so good. It's just crazy. Also, like, so before we get back into the judging thing, like, just the level of like what was possible when I first started. Like
Oh
when I first
yeah.
started, I remember very distinctly watching this parkour video of Ryan Doyle saying like, "Oh, the con gainer is the hardest trick in parkour." Now people are doing double con gainer fulls, con gainers to
Yeah, I
rails.
can Kong Gainer. That's how low the bar is now.
But you know
Or
what I
how
mean?
high the bar is, I
The
guess. Or
level is
wait,
just insane,
I don't
but
know how to
yeah, I
phrase
know what
that.
you mean. But the level is just so crazy high. It doesn't even make
Yeah.
sense anymore, dude. Like I'm watching these style runs, I'm like, bro, like I used to do style comps like years and years ago, like
Yep.
just for fun. I was never a style athlete. I was always good at speed and skill. But like I remember doing comps, and now I'm like watching people's runs. I'm like, this stuff I like dreamed of, like was ideal runs. And people were doing it on hard ground in comps. It's like, what is going on now?
Yeah.
It's so crazy, bro. So crazy. But so the thing with judging, like because you were talking about the FIG judging and versus like
Yeah.
SPL and stuff, I feel like with style comps, it's so subjective is the problem.
Yes. So
Which
I actually have a hot take. Sorry, you
no,
finish
no,
your
no, go
thing.
ahead. I want to hear the
Okay.
hot take now.
So with FIG, I think one, they've made more changes than people realize over the last couple of years. Cause like if you go back and like there's that famous DK run from that Fig comp like 7 years ago or whatever, where he did like a million rolls on the ground and like butt scoots. Cause like they weighted combos really high. So if you connected like 20 moves together without extra steps, you would get like a big bonus. So
Mm.
DK did a run where he like kept doing like DD rolls and like forward rolls and just like that way he never stopped his combo technically.
Ah, I see. That makes
So
sense.
if you
Yeah.
go all the way back there and then go to what we have now, it is a lot better. Essentially, the way the scoring works is you get a difficulty score, which is your three biggest tricks. So they have a code of points, and whatever your three highest scoring tricks are, that's your difficulty. So let's say you did. So I'll take Lautaro's run because I can remember his three big tricks. He does double Webster. He does cart trip, so a triple full, and then he does I think the round off full in off this like tiny ledge. I think those are his three tricks. So he has those three skills. He gets the points for all those skills. Those scores from the Coda points can be bumped up for a couple different things. So you can get like scale or like height or I can't remember all of them. I can pull up the Coda points later, but so like let's say you do like double side flip and you like land in a tiny little spot, or you do double side flip pre, you can get like up to a point boosted, I think. So let's say double side is worth like 3 or 4 points. Let's say it's worth 4 points, and you get plus 1 point for doing it, or up to a point. Let's say you do a pre, but it's kind of like a bigger box. You get plus 0.5 to your double side. And then you do double side pop side. So now you comboed it and you did it either a move into it or a move out of your big trick. You could get up to another point. So you can get all these little boosts to increase your score. So, for example, one of Shay's tricks last year that we were like, he did 2 big tricks in one of his runs. And we were like, oh, what's his third trick? Because he didn't really do a third, like, quote unquote, big trick. And it ended up being that he did a low castaway. And it was so low that they gave him like probably a full point for his castaway. So even though the cast was like, castaways are a pretty low scoring skill in Fig, he did it so low, you get a little bump. So the same way we would kind of think about it, just without an objective point list. And then he also did cork straight into it, so he got a combo like bonus as well. Does that make
Interesting.
sense?
Yeah, no, it makes
So
sense.
that's
Yeah, I'm
half
starting
your
to get it.
score, or like half is difficulty, and then the other half is execution, which is 15 points, and you get docked
Yeah.
from there. So you start at 15, you get docked. Then yeah, I guess my hot take with that, I want to think if there's anything else I'm missing with it, but that's essentially how the points work for Fig. Um, my biggest flaw with Fig isn't the code of points necessarily, it's the course design. So they make you compete on a course that was specifically built to be a side-by-side speed course.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
this
yeah.
is not built in any way to have good flow or to like connect skills together. So you're gonna get a lot more people that are like, well, I have to do 3 big tricks. Like, here's a ledge to do 1 trick, and now I just have to kind of run over to another ledge because it's not built in a way for me to do some connection moves between these. Like, I only have so many big moves maybe I can do, unless you're like the top athlete. If you're Ellis, if you're Shea, if you're these people that have every move in your inventory, then you might be able to use this course better. But like, unless you're like that top percentile, it is hard to like find a way to get 3 big tricks in there when the course design's kind of bad.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And then, okay, so I guess my last take with it was that I don't think the code of points is as bad as some people think it is, as long as they're willing to constantly update it and adjust it. So, my take with this is that the code of points isn't objective, it is still very subjective, but the judges are telling you exactly how they're subjective. So, at any parkour comp, let's take SPL for example. Like, everyone every year always has complaints about every comp, SPL too. But if like one of the judges like judges someone and I don't agree with it, I can't like understand, you know? But like, okay, let me try to phrase this from the beginning. Let's say you're at SPL and someone does a trick and it gets, let's say someone does a double backflip and it gets like, the judges give them a 4 points for a double backflip. And then another person does like a triple full and they get 3.5 points or whatever. The judges in their brain decided that double backflip, if that's their whole line, double back is harder than triple full, right? But they don't tell you that beforehand. But the judges already have beliefs of what tricks are harder or not. So you can either just have judges that you trust to have the right opinion, or the judges ahead of time can be like, hey, just so you know, not like the flow and the execution, like that can all be kind of like subjective and is going to constantly change. But I'm letting you know, if you were just to do these tricks, like this is kind of like the score of like how I grade these tricks. Like if you did these 3 tricks, I don't think those 3 are as hard as these 3. Everyone in this sport has an opinion on what trick is harder than what. So Fig at least tells you up front that, hey, we think, for example, every cork variation is worth a little bit more than a back full. So if you do double cork, it's worth a little more than double full. So that's Fig telling you ahead of time, hey, we think corks are a little bit harder than fulls. So if you do scoot dub, that's a little bit less high of a score than doing like J-step double cork. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. It's interesting. I didn't yeah, so they're trying to make it more objective by having, like, a standard beforehand of what is considered this or that.
Yes, but I don't necessarily say it's objective because it's
Yeah, it's still subjective, but, like, they're like you said, they're letting you know ahead of time what they're
yes.
subjective on,
And you
yeah.
can go up to the judges and be like, "Hey, this trick isn't on your list,
I guess
but if
the
I
word is
did this, like, how would
criteria.
you rate it?"
Yeah, I guess the word is criteria, like, they have a criteria in place, which is, like
Yeah.
and they're clear about it versus, like, at SPL, for example, I don't know if they are clear about it, are they? I mean, you've
No. At
right.
least not that I'm aware of. I think they kinda like, I feel like I've heard from other people that have competed in style, they tell you what they're looking for, but it's very vague. So it's still like, there's a certain type of movement that every judge is gonna be biased towards, right? Like, some people might like the way Ed Scott moves, very quick, very well connected, very powerful, but maybe, like, not as, like, off axis, not as creative sometimes. No hate on Ed, I love Ed. I love
Ed's a
his
beast.
his movement is how I like to move. That's, like, my favorite style. So I'd be probably more biased to, like, Ed Scott's movement than maybe somebody else's, but maybe one of the judges is like, "Oh, that's like traditional parkour. I don't like that as much. I wanna see someone be creative." And it like, at least ahead of time, they could be maybe more clear about like, "Hey, like, as a judge, this like, I'm more biased towards this movement," or like I don't know. There's so much discussion to be had about like, should there be a bias towards different movement types? Like, is there an ideal movement type for a comp, or is it just whoever you have in charge that day?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I feel like with any style comp like that, it's yeah, just so subjective. It's hard to have to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is? I mean, even like what was it years ago? I mean, didn't I think Corey Demeyers won Red Bull? Didn't he the one year?
Yeah, I think one of the earlier
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. And then I forget there was one that was like it was weird. I forget which one it was. Man, I haven't watched them in so long. But there was one I
Yeah.
remember like seeing someone's run who won. I was like, how is that better? This other person who had like these crazy, insane big tricks in or something. Like,
Yeah.
but it's what they were looking for that year, whatever it was. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, it's so interesting. That's why I kinda like speed and skill comps because they are so objective, like, who is the faster time?
Yeah.
Who's like this precision? Like, it's pretty objective, like, it's just, like, straightforward, cut and dry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we're thinking about parkour and those 3 main formats, we'll say skill, speed, style, what do you think is the most watchable for someone who doesn't do parkour?
Speed for sure.
Yeah.
But I think uh a lot of people say like the skills comp at SPL is like the most hype. And I honestly that comp was like a little bit of a blur for me. Like everything was hyped there. But I feel like that is pretty hype. So I feel like I kind of slept on skill a lot. Like I love competing skill, but I was like, how interesting would this be to like a regular viewer? And I think it has like more potential than I originally thought it did.
Yeah, I never realized that. For me, I thought skill would be again, not having gone to these comps, and I really need to, skill would be the lowest on that list, to be honest, like,
That's what
not
I thought, but,
yeah,
like, everyone like, ask anyone who goes to SPL and they'll
they
all
say it's
tell
the
you
most
that
hype.
skill's, like, one of the most hype, like I mean, I can't say one of the most hype, there's 3 events, but
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people will be like, "No, skill is my favorite to watch."
That's so interesting because also, like, people, like, when the Olympics happen, they love watching the floor routine because all the flips and crazy tricks, so, like,
Yeah.
I feel like all forms are I mean, it's hard for me because we obviously, you and I are both so involved in parkour, it's hard for us, like, to see it from, like, I don't know what the parkour is what is fun. I think what one of the organizations should do I'm kinda running circles here, so I apologize, everybody, but it'd be interesting if somebody showed somebody that does not do parkour, they did, like, a poll or, like, a focus group where they
Yeah.
asked them, like, "Okay, which one of these 3 formats did you enjoy watching the most?" With no prior knowledge.
Yeah.
I would love to see what the results are for that because then we can use that information and then that will maybe help us to focus on a format to try to push parkour more mainstream.
Yeah.
Because
But I
that
think you can't just show the 3 formats, you have to show several different comps too. Because like,
true.
SPL style is different from Fig style, which is different from Gizmo style.
That's also
Like,
true.
very, very different from each other, all of them. So
It's so difficult. Like, oh my god.
and not just, like, even the movement, but, like, the format. Like, Gizmo feels like this, like, they have, like, Josh Dowie hosting it, and there's, like, nice lighting, like, I feel like I guess SPL has really good lighting too, but it's like SPL feels more, like, official, whereas, like, Gizmo from the videos I've seen feels like this, I don't know, this goofier, more fun spectacle to, like, watch and be a part of. I'm excited to go to that event this summer because like, that looks like one of the most fun to, like, even if you don't compete, but to participate in and watch.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what comp I love that's unfortunately doesn't happen anymore? You ever this the air whip challenge?
Oh, yeah, dude,
Dude.
I wish I could go there, that would look so sick.
Dude, the air whip challenge was awesome. It had the lights, it had this grand stage, had all the viewing and stuff. It was sick. Like,
Yeah.
it was so
Have
legit.
you
Like,
been to it?
no, but I
Oh,
remember I loved watching videos from that comp.
yeah, that comp was sick.
Oh my god, it was so I wish I could have gone. That was I think when that happened, I was, like, maybe 15 or 14. I was young, so, like, I could not have gone overseas to go watch
Yeah.
this comp. I was a broke, broke person, couldn't go anywhere,
Yep.
but yeah, Arab Challenge, they need to bring that thing back, someone's
Yeah.
gotta bring that, like,
I
a
just think it
comp
wasn't
like that.
making them money or anything. Like, they were losing
Oh,
money by that
yeah.
last year.
Well, that's the one thing too is, like, even for me as a business owner in the well, we'll say parkour and chase tag for the sake of this, is, like, yeah, it's hard to make a good living off of these sports that we love.
Yeah.
Like, I think in parkour, it's like, what, you open a gym, you go into stunts. It's hard to be a professional athlete unless you're, like, the top echelon, like you're saying, like Ellis
Yeah.
whatever. Even then, like, what's the grand prize for winning FIG or SPL?
Fig is pretty good.
Is it actually? But
Yeah.
but can you make a living with that? Is your only career is to, like, just win comps?
If you get, like if you podium at every Fig comp, like, you could like, if you got first at every Fig comp, like, you could scrape by on that for sure.
But what is
Even
that?
if you podium like, I mean, like, it's like I think first place is, like, 7,000 Swiss francs, so it's, like, even a little more in USD. So, like, I think it's, like, 2 of those, and then there's a World Cup every 2 years. And then if you, like, either there's, like, another bonus if you're, like, the top athlete between all the World Cups in a year, you get another little bonus.
Mm.
So maybe if there's only 2 World Cups in a year, it's, like, not enough, but it's, like, enough to if you have, like, a job, like, you could easily afford to travel to all the other events you wanna go to for the rest of the year. Like, it can completely fuel your, like, athletic career,
Sure, but maybe
but
it's
not
not
your
like a
life.
yeah, maybe it's not like a yeah, it can't be your career, essentially. It's like
Yeah,
more of
no,
a
you
fun
couldn't
thing.
do it all.
Yeah, so was it? It's being a gym owner, going into stunts, being an influencer, that's another big one.
Yeah.
People like Dom, Store, I mean, they're making good livings at it too. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. Sorry, everybody, if I'm saying that wrong. But
I think anyone with a Red Bull sponsorship, from my understanding, like, can live off of it.
right, which is sick.
Yeah.
So there are avenues, but it's still like it's not the same as other sports that exist out there nowadays. Still,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, what can we do to get parkour to be that? Because I think it has. I mean, I love parkour. Parkour has changed my life. It changed your life.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while, like so I got into parkour from Ninja, and obviously Ninja was my first real passion. Then I did parkour kind of to cross train for Ninja, and then fell in love with parkour even more. And I honestly like love parkour way more than Ninja at this point. Well, I did. Now I'm just doing chase tag and climbing for God's sake. God,
Yeah.
I miss doing parkour. Oh, God, I get back to it. But point being is like I'd love for it to be more of a serious career path for more of these professional athletes or these high level athletes.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like so many athletes from over the years they've fallen out, like, they don't do it anymore, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I remember I mean, this is different, but, like, watching, like, Tim Chief's videos and, like, Ryan Doyle's videos and all these different people, and, like, none of them really involved anymore, and those people are a little different, obviously, because Tim, it's Tim. You know what I'm talking
Hey, Tim Shee, shout out.
Yeah. So, yeah, but point being is, like, so many great athletes have stopped doing it, and I feel like maybe the reason why well, probably they lose the passion, but one of the reasons why they probably do lose the passion is because they're sacrificing so much time, their bodies, and they're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Like,
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, GG, bro. Like, I've no idea how you can, like, without, like, social media of some sort. Like, even the top athletes like Dom, it's like, even though he has a Red Bull sponsorship, it's because he has, like, a social media presence. So, like, it's not like but I guess that's true for, like, any athlete anywhere. Like, it's almost any. Maybe not, like, super traditional sports, but you, like, look at a gymnast. Like, the gymnasts that make a ton of money, like, is because they get famous from their, like, I guess some of them do get, like, brand deals, like, they get on a Kellogg's box, But a lot of them make, like, sponsorships, like, they get a big following on social media because, like, they had a sick floor routine or, like, they were in the
Alyssa
Olympics.
Liu, bro. Alyssa Liu is like world famous now. I mean,
Yeah.
just from yeah. I mean,
But I mean,
well
like, she's
deserved.
the type of person that would, like, get on a Kellogg's box.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's beyond just social media. So she's, like, almost another exception from that. But there's other people who, like, aren't on the Kellogg's box. They're not getting those types of brand deals, but just, like, through their social media presence and a big following, they make money that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely see a difference between, like, Simone Biles and maybe, like, some, like, college gymnasts that are just, like
You're more of an influencer.
yeah.
Yeah, right. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it's just hard, man. I really wish there was something to do to get parkour more blown up like that. Because, like, the thing about parkour and ninja both and chase tag is like a lot of kids don't fit in with traditional sports. Like clearly that's how you were. Like you were saying, you didn't really do. Did you didn't do it? Well, I'm pretty sure you didn't do anything before parkour, right? You're more gaming, like, just hanging out, like,
Yeah,
or would
big
you
gamer.
big gamer guy, yeah, rolling Game Boy.
Yes, sir.
But, like, so many kids don't fit in with those sports, so I feel like like, ninja parkour or chase tag are, like, they're fun, they're active for your mind, for your body. They teach you so much, and, like, I know that these sports have potential to change people's lives like it did for you and I,
Yep.
but it's like, how do we get that more mainstream?
Yeah.
Because I remember, dude, like, even when I was in high school, it was, like, 2013, 2014, whatever, people would still yell, like, "Oh, do a backflip," or "hardcore parkour," like, there was still that stigma of this being, like, this lame, stupid thing,
Yeah.
even though, like, nobody understood, like, how
Hot
difficult.
take, it still is this lame, stupid thing.
I mean, honestly, dude, you're not wrong, like.
Like, I think it's a cool sport, and it's like when you get to that high level, like, it's like it is a little bit like scootering, which I love scootering, but, like, a lot of skaters and everybody hate scootering, and scootering, like, they're one of the only action sports that I think, like, Red Bull doesn't touch, like, I don't think in any country Red Bull sponsors scooter riders. And like a lot of skate parks ban scooter riders. And if you check on Instagram, if some scooter kid does something sick, which I feel bad because I feel like even I say scooter kid, but I feel like that's almost like a slur to the like scooter community. But like it has the same problem as parkour. It's like, what do you call them? A scooterer or a scooter rider? But like you're a skateboarder or even like a rollerblader, which rollerblading gets like slammed on too. But like when you get to that high level, like, you'll see a bunch of skaters comment and be like, "Alright, like, that was pretty cool even for, like, a scooter rider." You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, they give you your, like, respect after you're, like, the best, but anything less than that, like, you're just, like, dunked on, you know?
That's a fair point. I mean, there are kids that come to the gym here that, like, they, for example, can't do a Kong vault, and they probably go to school and maybe tell kids, and they see them, like, doing parkour, and it's like they're not, doing anything super impressive, so that is what they're kinda
Yeah.
doing, which is sad, and I feel bad, but it's true, I guess, like you're
Yeah.
saying. It's still sad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
super
was
sad.
that kid. But
I mean, so was
anyways.
I, bro, we both were.
Yeah.
Fuck, like.
But I think it kinda leads into this other thing of, like, skateboarding at its lowest level, the very intro point of skateboarding is cool. If you have a skateboard and you push down the street in it, you instantly just look a little cooler. Like, unless you look completely like you have no idea what you're doing, it's like, that guy looks pretty cool.
Maybe, I mean, I think it sounds like it's more of a culture thing, right?
But that's what I'm saying. It is a
Yeah.
culture thing. But if you take parkour down to its lowest level, it's walking. You know what I mean? Or like if you try to show someone the new parkour move you learned, it's like a basic vault that looks stupid. Like the general public will give you that respect when you can backflip or you can do this cool trick that impresses them. But the entry level is like it's easy to clown on it. Even with like scooter riding a little bit. Like riding a scooter doesn't look like I mean some people can look swagged out on it, but like for the most part
You sure do.
it's like I don't look cool on a scooter, bro. But like it doesn't look like the coolest thing ever. And I feel like if that entry level doesn't look cool, it's harder to like step it up almost. I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense, but I
No,
feel
it
like that
does.
connects to like the culture and like how it's accepted and how it can grow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, so, yeah, I agree. It's like, yeah, we get to that point where people can see it. Because for me, like, when I was in high school, we did a parkour performance at our pep rally when I was a senior. And
Nice.
so after that, like, everyone knew, but I mean, they knew we did parkour before that, but no one like respected it until that because we were doing like cool tricks and flips and things. Like I like jumped from like the second floor of like the gym, like down to a basket loop and down to the floor and rolled out. Like it was cool stuff. So
That's
people like
pretty sick, Tim.
yeah, right. You can watch on YouTube. It's actually kind of cool, but for back then at least. But it was interesting. Yeah, after that, people saw that and then they like gave me more respect and they go, oh, like that's so cool. You do that. People enjoyed it or liked it more once you got to that level of performing, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, it is sad for those people that are just getting into it. They don't have that just yet.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is.
The answer is chase tag.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's my hot take. So, okay, when the UFC first started, it was essentially a giant marketing scheme for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Did you know this?
No.
So
Please
basically,
tell me the lore.
yeah, I'll tell you the lore. So basically, the
Is this pre Joe Rogan?
I think so. He's been around for a long time. I don't remember if he was commentating back then, to be honest. I think he might have been.
Okay.
I don't know actually, but yeah. Anyway, the point being is that so there's a little Brazilian guy, and he was beating all these giant, massive guys with BJJ because it's so effective against whatever. You can. I'm not gonna. This is a ninja podcast, parkour world chase. Like I'm not gonna get into the details of mixed martial arts now. But the point is like it put BJJ on the map
Okay.
because this little Brazilian guy was beating these giants that are wrestlers, boxers, kickbox, whatever. He was beating all of them, and he was
Yeah.
like 140 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever. So it put BJJ on the map, and now BJJ is like one of the most widely known sports, practice sports in the world. There's comps everywhere. It's huge. There's
Yeah.
millions of fans, and I feel like it happened. Like if BJJ just started by itself, I don't think it would have had the same explosion as it did with the UFC. UFC is so easy to understand. So my thought is like chase tag is so easy to understand.
Yeah.
The fundamental for chase tag is parkour. Like
Yeah.
obviously chase tag is its own unique sport. Like you don't need to be a parkour athlete to get involved in chase tag by any means, but having a foundation in parkour is important. And I feel like if people can see chase tag and parkour is being talked about and being, discussed and how that's the foundation, people will get into parkour from chase tag because they've seen chase tag. They go, oh, parkour, I got to do parkour to chase tag, and then get involved in it. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Maybe, but that's my thought.
Okay. Yeah.
You can disagree. That's fine. Please do.
No, I don't necessarily disagree. It's just like, dude, I don't know. I feel like for a while I saw like this perfect connection. Like when I first like got into chasing, when I first saw chase tag, I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is how parkour people can like make a living. Like this is going to blow up. This is going to be insane." And I like still believe that. I still believe that it's this like it can be this amazing like huge thing. Like I still believe that one day it's going to be like the next UFC if like everyone keeps working hard to like take it to that next level, you know. Um but I feel like it lost its swag in the parkour community. So
That's true.
it's not like connected anymore.
That's
And
true.
it feels almost like a little corny. I don't know if you feel that at all.
I don't know about feeling corny, but I do agree that's lost its swag in the parkour community. I think it's because it's become its own thing. Like when it first started, the best parkour athletes were doing it. Like the biggest names were doing it, and that's essentially just what it was. It's just parkour tag, basically.
Yeah.
And now that people have gotten quads, and people practice more, like it doesn't. I feel like it's become its own. It's just separate now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see
It's
your
definitely
point though.
separate. Um but it felt like originally there was more parkour people that like wanted to do it and
Yeah,
like there's not I don't know, I was just thinking about this yesterday about like that kind of initial like stoke for it kind of died out.
it did, and I think that's a well. We can really get into it, but that's probably because of all the things that have happened over the years. How it's not been consistent. How the events have been so spaced apart. Like it's
Yeah.
people have lost like when it first came and like Apex was super dominant and everything and like that was yeah definitely that was when I was most like I guess using your words like most swagged out right was then
Yeah.
and then all the different time passed and the issues happened or whatever the inconsistencies then it just kind of like lost that in the parkour community. I think it's definitely I don't know I feel like it's definitely more known now than it was back then. But
Yeah.
like you're saying, but with the parkour community specifically, sure, maybe it's
I
not
just don't
as
think it's like tied as closely to like I mean obviously it's not tied as closely to parkour anymore, but
yeah.
I'm also wondering if like that same thing like if the connection is broken in the same way of like less parkour people are going to want to get into chase tag and less new people that get into chase tag are going to like get into parkour cuz of that.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's still so new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm of the opinion that they could benefit each other for sure, or more so chase tag benefiting parkour. But you're right. It could be a complete disconnect, not even intertwined at all.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because yeah, if all chase tag or all chase tag athletes don't do parkour anymore, then like yeah, there's no connection. You're right.
Yeah. Cuz I think it's like I think new people that get into chase tag are going to like that competition and that it has such different motivations behind the sport. So like I don't know. These are just all random thoughts in my head and just whatever, but I think that potentially more people that get into chase tag like that energy you feel from it, but it's very different from parkour. Like I don't really like practicing chase tag that much or training it because I don't get the same feeling I get from parkour. Parkour like challenges and uh like combos and flips that I learn, like when I land something, I get this like huge like dopamine rush or whatever. Like I feel like a lot of success. I never feel that in chase tag unless I'm playing. So like I love playing chase tag, like doing chases. I hate practicing chase tag and doing like routes and moves and stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I also feel like parkour is so much more internal, you know? Like, you do it for yourself, you're
Yeah.
yeah, it's basically what it is, you do it for yourself, whereas chase tag, it's a team sport, it's you versus another person, like, it's way more
Yeah.
aggressive? I don't know, like, what's the word? More competitive, more
Yeah, definitely more competitive. So I feel like people that get into chase tag alone are gonna be more likely to enjoy those elements of it, and, like, there'll probably still always be a little bit of crossover, but I think they're so different in practice and in how you feel when you do it, and, like, the type of reward you get from doing it is so different that it's not like the people that enjoy the chase tag elements aren't gonna immediately feel like, "Whoa, I can do this thing too because this is similar." Does that make sense?
No, it does, yeah. That's a fair point. It's interesting, I guess time will tell, and we'll see how it goes. I
Yeah.
mean, we both think chase tag can blow up and be huge and
Yeah, for
all.
sure.
I mean, seeing its growth even the past past 5, 3, 4 years is crazy. I mean, so you first started chase tag, I think the same time we did maybe, right? In 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we compete against you. Well, you were an
Yeah.
Olo back then.
Yeah. We beat you.
You did you sure did.
Mhm.
Then we spanked you at the next one, then don't forget about
Whatever.
that
Hey, whatever. Just remember that first year.
one. So maybe, like, how did you first discover chase tag?
I think I just saw clips of it online, like some of the whoever was on like the boys team back then, the only US team when they went to like Europe to play. So it was like
Was it Jake, Frank?
Seth Ruji Ravi Riapino. I think that's how you say his full name. Yeah, I got that locked down. Um, and then there was
I don't know if that's right.
Davis. Huh?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Ruji Ravi Riapino.
Alright.
It's either Pino or Pino. I don't know which one, but I know how to say his last name mostly. Seth
Continue, continue.
Ruji, bro.
Yeah, Seth Ruji,
Uh,
yep.
but yeah,
Mm.
I've known Seth since I was like 15 or something. So like I'd followed him on Instagram. I saw him play, and I was like, that looks sick. Like I want to do that. And then when it came around in 2020, I like heard about it, but like 2 weeks too late. I
Mm.
DM'd like
Mhm.
every single person I knew that like was organizing a team. Like I messaged Ryan Ford, I messaged someone from Enzo Movement that had a team. I messaged like Chip from Olo, like I messaged the Olo account. I messaged dang, I can't even remember who else, but I messaged like 5 or 6 different people that I knew for sure had a team. I sent them like speed course runs that I did. I was like sending my resume, bro. I was like, "Hey, is there any spots left on your team? Like, look at me, I'm so fast. Like, please let me join your team. I want to play." And everyone was like, "Sorry, we like filled up our team last week." Like I just found out like a week or two too late. And then the next year, uh, Olo was missing like a player or two, and they reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to join?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, 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 please."
So you were already pretty established parkour at this point. This is like years after you got into it. You were a good parkour athlete. You were like
I
skilled.
wouldn't say good parkour athlete.
Okay, you were. What would you call it then?
I was a loud parkour athlete.
Can you explain it?
Like I knew a lot of people in the community. Like I went to a lot of events. Like
Sure.
as a person, I would say I was like pretty established in like the US community.
I
But I
see.
wasn't like a good athlete. Like I liked speed courses. I was like a little fast.
Uh,
I was by no means some like notable athlete like at all.
Fair. So okay, so you saw Chase Tag, thought it was sick, and you were like fiending for getting into it.
Yeah, dude, I wanted to do it so bad.
So what about it drew you to it?
It looks sick. It's the same thing I like. I can't explain it. Like I don't know. I see a video of someone do something cool online. I'm like, I want to do that. That looks sick. And it was so closely tied to like my whole identity. Like all I had in life was doing parkour, and I was like, that's like parkour tag. Like I used to play tag at the gym I started training at. Like we would have like a games class once a week, and we would play parkour tag, and I loved it. So it's like, why would I not wanna do that?
Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah, and I
That's
also
literally it.
immediately saw it as this thing of like I saw it as like the beacon of hope for parkour,
Right.
which I see it less of that now. Like I still think it's gonna become a big thing, but it's not this like in
Yeah.
my head it was like this. Oh, parkour athletes can get into this, and this is how like parkour athletes can make a living. Like even if they don't love it, like all parkour athletes are gonna be like pretty good at it, and like they can just do that to make a living. But like that's not true anymore.
Right. Or we don't know yet, but yes, possibly. But okay, so you saw it, and then your first comp was in 2021.
Yeah.
in Akron, Ohio.
God, I love Akron, Ohio, bro. Me and Luke Mizell wanna get matching Akron, Ohio tattoos.
No way.
Yeah, good memories.
Akron was crazy. Remember the after party? Everyone was did you go
Oh,
to
I
that?
remember my after party. Me, Luke Mizell, Jeff Garrido, and I feel like one other person came with us. Sorry to whoever came with us, and I forget who it was, but we went tubing down, like, the did you go to that tunnel where you can go tubing?
No, I don't think so.
So after the after party, we did Roland's after party, and we we went back to this river where you tube through, like, a, train tunnel,
What?
and, so you, like, get in the river on, like, an inner tube, and we were doing this at, like, 2 AM, and, everyone was all freaked out because I was the only one who'd done it before, and I was like, "Guys, you're, like, not like, don't use flashlights, we're gonna do it in the dark," and you'd, like, hit rocks as you go
Oh
down.
my
Yeah,
god.
no, it was so fun.
Oh my god, that sounds like a lot of fun. That was before, like, obviously, like, you got closer with us.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I remember there's, like, a video of you, like or Aaron, like, holding you up on his shoulder or something like that with, like,
Yeah.
the
Wet floor
wet
sign.
floor yeah, wet floor sign, thank you. So, like, I guess it started back then, who knows?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But, okay, so you're at Olo for 2 years, 3 years, 'cause you did Pan Ams too.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess we can talk about how you came on our team.
Yeah.
You wanna start?
I mean, Worlds was coming up, and then I was like I remember I was chilling at my parents' house, and I had, like, a missed call from Tim. I don't remember who I was with, like, in the room at that time, maybe just, like, my sisters or, like, my mom, and I was like, "Dang, I missed a call from Tim." I was like, "I bet he's gonna ask me to join Dex for Worlds," and I, like, called you back, and you're like, "Hey, do you wanna join Dex for Worlds?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I do."
I guess, like, what was that like? Because obviously, like so we had talked about it as a team beforehand because essentially, like, Mike was injured, Gio couldn't go, and we were essentially had 4 players. So for us, it's like we needed to find somebody, and you're the first person that came to mind because
Yeah.
obviously we've known you for all those years. You're a super skilled athlete, and you bring so much to the team, not just like being a great athlete. You bring so much to it. So you're just the obvious choice. I was kind of worried you were gonna say no, to be honest.
Yeah.
Low
Dude, I
key.
wanted to get off Olo, bro. I love Olo, like, as a brand, like, Chip who runs it, awesome guy, like, I love the shoes and everything, but I was training, like, every weekend for a year at that point, and no one else on the team was anywhere near a quad, and, like, no one cared about it, that much, besides maybe Fernando. Fernando, like, still would try to train every now and then, he cared, but I was putting in definitely, like, more effort than everyone else by, like, a good margin, and there was, like, a couple people that were just, like, no fault to them, were just their vibe was like, "This is a cool event, like, I wanna go to those cool events. If I get invited on a team, I'm gonna go," but they didn't care about it enough to, like, put effort in, but I was driving, like, 3 hours to Atlanta every single weekend to, like, practice to get better at it. So, I was like, "Man, I don't wanna go to another competition I don't wanna keep training so much and go to another competition where, like, everyone else on my team's gonna let me down because they're not training," you know? It doesn't even need to be, like, trying the best or no one on my team needs to, like, be that good at all. I just wanna see other people, knowing that no other effort was put in, and then I put in all that effort to go to the comp and just, like, knowing we're not gonna make it, like, past, like, even qualifying rounds. Like, we didn't make it past qualifiers on Pan Ams.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the call came like welcome to you. You're like excited to get on.
Yeah.
To share. Yeah, again, I was nervous. I was really hoping you say yes. Like, I'm glad you did. Obviously, we've all gotten a lot closer since then. But
Yeah.
have
I
you,
appreciate it still.
dude? My pleasure, man. So, like, what's it been like for you? I guess being on the team, and what's been the difference from being on our team to when you're on Olo?
Um, hmm. What was the first part of that question?
Like, what's it like being on our team now, and what's the difference between our team and being on Olo?
Okay. Uh I feel like Olo, like, I loved everyone on Olo, but it was like felt like more of a random ragtag, like, group of, like, friends of mine, which was sick. Like, I loved everyone on that team, but I feel like the difference is, uh, you guys all felt like you were friends, like, before this comp almost, or, like, you guys all, like, lived in the same area, you're, like, from the same place, and it, like, definitely felt like more of, like, a family in, I felt definitely like an outsider coming into, like, a group that was, like, already put together, whereas Olo was just, like, everyone was just kinda thrown into it, you know? Um, but yeah, that's the only big difference. I feel like I was, like, pretty equally friends with everybody at that point. So,
Right, so, yeah, so it's interesting you said, like, how you kind of felt like you were joining, like, this already existing family team, whatever.
mhm.
Was that hard for you then when you first came on? Like, it's obviously, like, our obviously, you came and trained us a couple times, but going to Worlds, like, our first time really staying with each other, aside from that Texas jam that one time.
Yeah.
We had, like anyway, but point being is, like, that was kind of our first time with all of us really together. So what was that like for you?
I mean, I'm fine with that. Like, I mean, like, not like, sorry, that's a bad way to say it. Like, it was sick. Like,
No, no, no,
I feel
yeah,
like uh, I just like think I get along with people pretty well, and like, I'm not. I just, especially in like the parkour community, like I've always been like pretty good at like making new friends. So like, it's not like I was like, oh no, like I knew a lot of you guys individually for a while, anyways, or like hung out with you at jams, and like I knew Alex because he came to a jam at Motive years ago. So like, not everyone was like a stranger to me at that point, and we'd
right.
played at several comps together. Like I knew all you guys at that point pretty good,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like that bad. I feel like the only thing I remember leading up to that comp was when you invited me to join the team, my like one contingency was like I had two contingencies. I wanted to do the interview, and then the other one was this one I actually cared about was like I'm on your team now. Like if you're giving up a spot for me, because of the transfer windows, like if I joined your team right before Worlds, I wouldn't be able to change teams until right before the next Worlds. So I was like, you guys can't just bring me on, play me for Worlds, and then when your athletes that you're replacing, like using me to replace, are healed or ready to play, like you can't kick me to the curb and not let me play at the next comp. Because if you said I couldn't play, I wouldn't be allowed to switch teams, and I'd just be like out a whole
I
season.
remember that, yeah, and, like, again, like, for us here, I mean, I think you've seen it now, or you obviously know now, it's like, I never wanted to create a ragtag team like that, like, kick person off, bring someone back on, like, bring the best
Yeah,
players like some teams maybe do nowadays, you know? For us, it's like
some of
it's
them.
for us, it's like creating that family, that core team where we all get along, we hang out, like, I feel like you need that to have a good consistent team.
Yeah.
Like, I never even once thought about those things. So when you said that, I was like, "Yeah, duh, bro, like, that's what's gonna happen." Like,
Yeah,
what do
but I
you
just like I don't
well
like because I didn't know what everyone's mindset was. So like
exactly, yeah.
clearly someone on your team, because you had a full team of 6, is not playing at Worlds. And I was like, I don't want like even if you like weren't planning on swapping people out, it's like that person now is not gonna be able to play on your team or some like you're gonna if that person wants to play, someone else has gotta go.
Yeah,
You
yep.
know, not saying that you guys were just gonna like throw me to the side, but clearly if the person I'm replacing wants to play, I don't want them to be mad at me. Like, I want that person. I think that's kind of what I said was like, whoever's not competing, like, make sure you talk to them and they're okay with not competing, like, for the first half of the next season.
Yeah, yep. No, it makes sense, and, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and that's how it's, how it's been. We've always tried to create that, and then now you're just a core member, like, you've just been on the team, and, I mean, how many
Yeah,
it's been a
it's
couple
been
of years
good.
now, and, yeah, it's been great, and we're very grateful to have you on the team and everything, and, I mean, that first Worlds was something. We obviously
Yes, sir.
I felt okay, so I felt so bad because you really stepped up that comp, obviously. You, like, got those evasions against, what is it, against Kimio, against Urban Core, like, yeah, the iconic gritty moment, like, and
Yes,
our team
sir.
kind of just, like, crumbled and, like, did not really support you, and I felt bad because 'cause you're this new athlete coming to our team, and essentially you're the best player at Worlds, like, for sure. I mean, obviously gave up some tags too and everything, we all did, but, like,
Yeah.
I still felt so bad, I'm like, "Well, Roland's gonna wanna leave because we didn't do good for him."
Oh,
And
no, I wasn't thinking that at all.
that's
I
good.
remember you like apologized to me after, and I was like, no, like, we're good. I don't know. Like, I was on top of the world because I was like, I did good. I feel like that's the, like, maybe that sounds bad or whatever, but it's like, uh, it's weird being in this team sport where like I could do good and the rest of the team doesn't, but it's like if we won and I did bad, I'd still probably feel a little bad. You know, like if we won, but I like gave up 2 evasions at the comp and like feel like I performed poorly, I'd like be stoked on the win, but then I feel like a part of me would still be like, well, I didn't contribute as much to that win or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I had like a high that comp, bro. I was like, I hit everything. I grittied on somebody. I got 2 evasions in a row. Like,
Maybe I mean, the gritty thing, that got tons and tons of views, and everyone thought you're the biggest asshole, like, maybe tell
well,
your
I don't
side
know
of
about
things.
everybody.
Not everybody, but a lot of people like, "Oh, Roland's an asshole," whatever, like, people said
Were
these
people
things.
saying that?
Oh, yeah, 'cause but tell your side, because I remember talking to you about this, and, like, You didn't know he fell and almost hurt himself,
Yeah.
but you were gritting him. People see on the camera, and even I think Joey in the comments is like, "Oh, Roland showboat, I don't like
Yeah,
that," whatever
well,
he said.
Joey was like, "Ooh, a little disrespect
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
from
yeah.
Roland. I kinda hate to see it." But what happened was, I was like, I already got an evasion. Urban Core Mamba sent another person after me, Loic, and I like did this sick cutback juke at the sisters, and then I'm running down the front line, and Loic like dives headfirst over the front line with no plan, doesn't get like within even like 2 feet of me, and just lands on his neck. I don't see that though. I just see him dive over, and I was like, skirt, and then I kept running. All I knew was like, that's gonna take a second for him to get up. Like he hit the ground, you know? So I was like, I got time to gritty. Like I'm probably gonna get a second evasion. If there's any time to gritty on somebody, it's now. So I grittied. What I didn't know is he landed on his neck and like slammed into a bar, and it looked way more disrespectful than it meant to, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but, he was good. We shook hands afterwards. He evaded me like 5
He
minutes
did
later.
evade you 5 minutes
Yeah,
later, that's
so
true.
it's all good. It's all good.
Oh my god. So that was that your highest moment at the comp, was that?
Yeah, because I feel like, well, not necessarily that, like, not the gritty, but those 2 back-to-back evasions, like, I had, like, little goals that I've always wanted to do in a competition. Uh, and I hit all of those in that back-to-back evasion. So I did like a new move, like the reverse goat over the mountain. I did that in my first evasion, and then another big goal was getting 2 evasions in a row during a comp, especially against like a high-level team like Urban Core Mamba. So I got 2 evasions in a row, and I also did that like ghost juke on Loic uh and then, yeah, like, grittying on someone and getting an evasion was, like, another little thing. So I hit, like, 3 or 4, like, goals, like, back to back in that, like, first couple of rounds in that chase, and I was just on top of the world.
Dude, that's so sick, yeah. And obviously the rest of the comp, yeah, the team didn't do the greatest, but we still had fun and learned a lot.
Yeah, little Timmy was struggling that comp.
I sure was, brother. That's all cool. We learned, we move on. I feel really good going into this world though. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel very strong. I think I understand the mindset I need to be in for comps now because in worlds I was just not in a good headspace, super not confident, just wasn't myself and played like shit. And then even in Belgium, I kind of did the same thing, where I just like
Yeah.
had zero confidence in myself for some reason. But yeah, I mean, I think that's is what it is, and everyone has bad days and things, and now we're back, and now
Yeah.
we're gonna crush it this worlds.
Heck yeah, brother.
But since that first world, just to back is like our whole team, I guess, dynamic. Like we've gone to so many fun events together. Now we've done the Belgium
Yeah.
thing, we've done Malaga, we've done
Rooftop
Rooftop
Kings,
Kings, we've done so many. It's like it's crazy how we've all
Sweden. I guess you didn't come to Sweden, but some
yeah
of us went to
yeah yeah.
Sweden.
But still, like the team has like done all these events together now. It's cool how that Chase Tag's literally taken us around the world,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for Chase Tag. Like it's given
Yeah,
us so
no,
many
it's
great
sick.
opportunities. Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, there's definitely some things I think they can improve on. I mean, I know you have some opinions on that, especially with social media stuff. I mean, do you
Mm,
want to talk about any of that
I mean,
or
like, I feel like my opinions bounce back and forth every day, bro.
that's fair.
What do you wanna talk about?
Well, no, I
Dig
feel
into
like,
it.
obviously you are amazing at social media. You have how many followers do you have now on your platforms total?
I don't know.
A
Some of
lot.
them are from, like, years ago. Like, I don't even count them. Followers don't really mean anything.
Fair.
If you wanna talk about, like, recent things, like, I feel like I've gained, like, almost 100,000 on YouTube from chase tag content,
Really?
I think.
Wow.
It's almost at 100,000, and I think I was at, like, 4 or 5,000 before I started posting, like, chase tag stuff.
Yeah. So you have been on the social media grind for a while though. Maybe you talk about how you got into it and just like what you've learned.
Like, social media in general.
Yeah, in general. Yeah, we'll come back to Chase Tag, but
Um, I feel like I started posting, like, goofy videos in, like, 2019 or 2018 or 2019 when I moved to South Carolina. Um, yeah, I just, like it kinda goes back to that thing of, like, why I did parkour. Like, I saw a video of someone doing parkour or a lot of videos, and I was like, "That's cool, like, I wanna do that," or whatever. And, like, I really like silly, goofy videos on the internet that make me laugh, and I'm like, "I wanna make some, like, funny videos." Like, I like making people laugh. I like doing silly, dumb things. So, like, I mean, I can go back and there's so much cringe on all my pages, and I have, like, an old account that I, like, have privated and, like, it's just, like, my memories or whatever from, like, dumb videos, but, like, I don't know, I just like making silly things or, like, even if no one else likes it, I like making videos that me and my friends, like, have fun making and, like, at least making each other laugh when we make it, you know? So that's kinda where that went, and then, uh did a lot of that for a while and then, like, would have fall offs or, like, have, like I just get, like, burnt out. I don't like the repetitiveness of social media and, like, it's, like so much of it is, like, if you wanna make a living off it, you gotta, like, keep pumping stuff out, but, like, if it's at the cost of the quality of it, I don't like doing that as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it started off as just a fun thing. You saw a video just
Mhm.
like you did in parkour. You want to start making your own videos.
Yeah.
And now I think it's definitely become a huge part of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, you're posting tons of content all the time on all
Yeah.
different platforms. So I guess like, at what point did it turn from it just being fun to you actually like trying to do something with it?
Um, maybe, like, 2021 is when maybe, like, some of my videos on TikTok, like, parkour videos or, like, I'd make, like, voiceovers of me being like, "Today I learned this trick, blah, 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 blah," and they were all the same video, and, like, I got bored of making those, but that's when I first, like, had a couple videos or even, like, I'd make a goofy skit or, like, whatever, and, like, that would get some like, I made, like, $100 here, $100 there, something like every once in a while, I'd make a little bit. Instagram for a while was monetized, and, like, for, like, 2 months in a row, I made, like, $1,200, and I was like, "This is great. Like, this is awesome," and then, like, after 2 or 3 months of that deal, they, like, changed their like, it was, like, get 1,000,000 views in a month, and you'd make, like, $1,200, and I was like, "Hell yeah, that's easy," and I, like, grinded,
Wow.
and then, like, after 2 or 3 months of that, it was like, "Oh, now you need to get 10,000,000 views to make that same amount." And it was like, "Man, I can't get 10,000,000 views, like, that's so much harder and so much like, I feel like I lost motivation because of that. And, like, part of it is because I was just, like, relying on getting views as opposed to making something that I enjoy as well. So, I'd say 2021, 2022, I made, like, literally nothing that I could, like, live off of, but, like, maybe 1 month I'd make a couple $100 or whatever, and when Instagram had a really good deal, I made, like, $1,000 2 months in a row, and then, it was just, like, kinda here and there I'd make money. But then last summer, I started, like, heavily focusing on chase tag stuff, and that's when, like, I had a couple, like, crazy months of, like, a few $1,000s, you know? And I was like, "Oh, this has, like, potential to, like, like, be a living of me making videos about chase tag and, like, putting it, like, back in the sport, making more events or make this sport grow, like, through that, you know?"
And so you said last summer. For some reason, I thought it started before that, like your journey into all this stuff. But I guess not. I guess it was just
I
chase
just go
tag.
through, like, phases.
Right.
Like, I mean, I won that, like, Mr. Beast video, like, 2 or 3 years ago now, and, like, right after that, I was like, uh I, like, kinda quit my job. I was, like, not making enough money from it and, like, was like, "Alright, I'm gonna,"
Real quick,
I'm
for people that don't know, can you explain the Mr. Beast things? I don't think people
Oh,
even
yeah,
know.
that was a chase tag thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got invited to, like, someone from Mr. Beast's, like, their short form team, so, like, TikTok and, like, YouTube Shorts, like, reached out to someone in the chase tag community that was, like, so one of the, like, leaders of chase tag and was like, "Hey, we wanna, like, make a video about this sport." And it was essentially like Jimmy was doing an ad read, Mr. Beast, he was doing an ad read, for, like, I think it was, like, Brawl Stars or something like that, uh and they just want something, like, interesting happening in the background while he reads this ad. So for this video, it was chase tags. So they had me and Kyle Soderman come out, and we, like, played around a chase tag, and whoever was it was, like, back and forth tag. So it was, like, generic playground tag. Whoever was it at the end, uh, lost. So whoever was, like, technically evading by the end won $10,000. Um and so I won that round. I got Kyle with like 0.1 second left or whatever. So I won 10 grand. But then Kyle went on to do another video with them. The loser was going to go on, and it was like 1 versus 10. So they got 10 local college kids to like come out. And it was, you had like 30 seconds, and every college kid was holding $1,000. So every kid you took, you literally took their money.
That's
So
sick.
Kyle
That's
got
so
like
cool.
6, I think it was like a weird thing. Like the Mr. Beast team's like really nice and generous. So like Kyle got technically 7, but he had to like DTR it. So on the video, he got 6 people. Um, so like on the video, he got like $6,000, but they don't screw anyone over. So like at the end, they were like, okay, technically, like you got 7. They like looked over the footage, but they didn't take that $1,000 from the one of the, like so the 4 college kids that didn't get tagged got to keep their 1,000. Kyle got 6, but then they're like, "Hey, you actually got him." So they gave Kyle like I think I don't want to say this wrong if it's wrong, but I'm pretty sure Kyle got another 1,000 for like they made sure he got what was due, and then the other college kid got to keep his money too.
So
So
were all 10 of them out at once, and he had a certain amount of time to tag them
yeah,
all? Oh, wow,
dude, it's
okay.
hard.
That sounds hard as hell, yeah.
Yeah, we went into it and we're like they were like, "Oh, for sure you'll be able to get them." And I was like kind of confident. I was like, "Yeah, I think I'll smoke these guys." But they don't have to be good. It's like even if two of them are in a corner, you can only target one. So you as you tag one, the other one's gone. They can get to the other side of the quad. So even if all of them are in like a huddle, they did such a good job of you like try to corner them, but then like they'd only leave one behind and everyone else would swarm. So, like, I think we, like, tried it out beforehand, because we were, like, making sure the video format would work before they, like, officially film it. Uh, so they, like, demoed it with, like, I think just random crew from, like, the Mr. Beast team or whatever, and we, like, tried it, and, like, I think I only got 6 people. I got maybe 5 or 6 in 30 seconds, and because like, if it was something where, like, we would tag all of them, all 10 of them in, like, 5 seconds, they would, like, wanna change it to make it, they were trying to find the right formula for it.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
once the cameras roll, it's go time. Like, there's no redo, there's no, like when the cameras are rolling and Jimmy says something, it is, like it's in the Bible now, bro, it's fact.
It's crazy we're literally on a Mr. Beast video, though.
Yeah,
Do
it was
you
sick.
that's gotta be, like, one of your top tier moments, right? Like
Dude, it was crazy because I manifested it. It was right after Squid Game. It was like so right after uh, Squid Game aired in, like, November of '22, I think. Dang, was it that long ago? That's so crazy. I think it was.
also, people didn't know Roland was on Squid Game: The Challenge on Netflix.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
it was pretty fun. Uh, but so, yeah, I was on, like, at the time, the biggest reality show of all time. I made it to top 10, and I was like, "Dang, that was insane." And I kinda, like, left it being like, everyone would be asking me like, "Oh, are you gonna do another show? Like, what are you gonna do next?" And I was like, "I don't know, man." Like, it was kinda like a miracle I made it on this show already and, like, made it so far. I was like, "How do I go up from here?" And I was like, "Dude, being in a Mr. Beast video." And it was like so that was in, like, November. 2 months later in January, I was, like, telling my friends, like, "Dude, my next goal," which is, like, a dumb goal to make because like, how do you, like I can't work towards being in a Mr. Beast video, you know? So I was like, "How could I like, this is my goal. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but my goal is to be in a Mr. Beast video, and, like, not like a 1 in 100 video where I'm, like, there for 2 seconds. I'm like which I'd be grateful to be a part of that too, but I was like, I wanna be in, like, one of those small, like, Mr. Beast videos or, like, make it to the end of, like, a big, like, main channel video. I'd love to be on one of the, like, 100-day videos, but, I was like, "That's my goal," and, like, literally a month after that, I got, like, a phone call, um, and it was from I'm not gonna name names, but somebody, like, asked me, like, they're like, "Oh, we have this job opportunity," and I was, like, trying to fish for more info. They're like, "It's a video shoot," and I'm thinking, like, music videos or something, and, I was like, "Can you give me any more info on, like, what this is?" Like and they were like, "No, sorry, I can't tell you, like, what this is," and I was like, "Can you at least tell me where it's, like, filming?" And they were like, "No, if I tell you, you'll know." And I was like, "What?" How would I know? Like if you said New York, there's like hundreds of musicians and rappers and like commercials like that would like brands that would I would be a part of. How would I know? I thought for like 3 more seconds and I was like, dude, Greenville, North Carolina. I was like, it's Mr. Beast. And I didn't say it over the phone, but I was like, dude, this like it's Mr. Beast. This is what it is. And so I was like, once I realized it was Mr. Beast, I told the person I was on the phone with, I was like, hey, do you think it would help if I sent in some of my, like, mic'd up chase tag videos? Because that was one of the, like, content ideas I was making at the time was, like, mic'd up chase tag, like, goofy little matches where everyone's mic'd up and, like, talking crap to each other. And they were like, "Anything you think that will, like, help you get this job, send it in and I'll give it to them." And they were like, "Whoever gets this job is gonna really want this job." And I was like, "Bet." So I, like, sent in that footage, and when I talked to, like, the producers from Mr. Beast, they were like, "Oh, the second we saw those mic'd up chase tag videos, you were our number 1 priority." Like and I got on the phone with, like, an interview with an even higher person up, like, a top producer at Mr. Beast, and they're like, "That mic'd up chase tag stuff, we want you to do that for us." And I was like, "Yes! Yes! I will do that for you.
That's so crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's, like, life changing. Like, who can say they've been on a Mr. Beast video? That's insane.
Probably a lot of people, honestly.
I mean,
I have
yeah, but it's
another
still a
friend
big
that
deal.
was on a Mr. Beast video before me. He was on
Huh.
a main channel video. He was on the, like, the original, like, 100 boys versus 100 girls video.
Huh.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still pretty cool, man,
Still pretty
alright?
cool.
Listen,
Yeah,
it's
no, I was
cool.
stoked.
It's still sick as hell.
Yeah. Still a goal to be in a main channel video, though.
Yo.
So, fingers crossed. Jimmy, hit me up, bro. I'll pull up.
He's
I'm a
gonna pull
short
up.
drive away.
No, okay, that's so sick. Oh my god. Okay, so we're Mr. Beast video,
Yep.
that happened.
That's
Or
fire.
yeah, so again, social media has been a big part of your life for a long time. Like,
Yeah,
and you were
definitely.
just talking about those mic'd up chase tag videos and things.
Yeah.
So it's been a big part for a long time. But then you said this past summer is when you really started to like see it could become a living.
Yeah.
When you started pouring more time into chase tag.
Hmm.
So I guess what's that been like? Obviously, you've garnished thousands and millions of views on your chase tag content.
Yeah.
So maybe talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I started with, like, after the US finals, I made, like, I just call them match review videos now. So it's like I'll take a full match of chase tag and I'll, like, chop it up, uh, to be about, like, a minute to a minute and a half long. And I just kinda, like, review the match. So I come up with a commentary to, like, try to make it interesting. So I'll be like, "It's this team versus this team," and, like, I think the first one was us versus Vanguard, and I was like, "My team's going out, like, we're trying our best, like, I went out and I got this sick tag, but then I got tagged right away," or whatever, it's just I think it's just silly commentary. I'm not, like, that stoked on these, but, um yeah, so that was, like, the concept is taking a full match of chase tag and making it, like, easy to understand and, like, interesting for new people. So, hopefully, people who've never seen the sport or even people that have seen it but only seen, like, individual chases can get a bigger understanding of the sport and how it works. Um, and I think I was pretty successful at that. Like, the first couple got, like, a lot of views and, like, a lot of people, like, now understood not just what the sport was, but how it worked and how the points were scored and, like, uh yeah, and I think it, like, gained some, like, early, like, I wouldn't even call them, like, fans, but, like, there was some people who were, like, following from YouTube Short to YouTube Short and, like, getting attached to Paul. Like, I'd hype up Paul for a couple videos, and people would be like, "Oh, Paul's the GOAT." And I'm like, "He is the GOAT." But, like, yeah, there was some, like, definitely, like, good growth for the first, like, couple of months of making these videos, and I just kinda ran with it.
And I guess that leads us to where you are now. I mean, now you're creating these longer form videos and all.
Yeah.
So I guess what's the vision behind that?
Um, I guess the original vision was, like, trying to create more content, like, off season. So, one of, like, the biggest comments I get is like, "Oh, where can I watch this?" Like, people that like watching the, like, match reviews or the individual chases I post are like, "Oh, where can I watch more of this?" And, like, I can tell them World Chase Tag, and I do, and I did for a long time, but, like, the last video from Chase Tag is, like, Worlds from 2 years ago. So I feel like you send them over to this account that has amazing clips on it, but I feel like there's still this element of, like, you know, even if they, like, look past that it's 2 years old, you're gonna run out of those matches pretty quick, and you're gonna be like, "This is 2 years ago. Is this sport still even, like, going on?" Or, like, people want more. So I was hoping to, like, if I can, like, pump out a video every week, like a new match, a full match, just like how World Chase Tag does it, I could create another place where, like, maybe it won't look quite as nice as World Chase Tag, but still decent quality for, like, people who are new to the sport to, like, have something fresh to watch. Um, so I think that was the goal, is, like, create something long form to maybe garner some, like, more legitimate fans, like, people that wanna stick with this and watch it more.
So I guess your whole goal behind doing this is obviously to promote chase tag and stuff.
Yeah, and to make money.
And
I'm not
yeah.
gonna like, I wouldn't be doing a lot of this stuff. Like, it's a lot of work, and I wouldn't put this much work into it if I wasn't, like, making some money from it, you know? Does that make sense? Like, I don't wanna
Yeah.
act like I'm doing this all out of the goodness of my heart and
Well,
yeah.
no, no, of course not,
Yeah.
but the point is but you're still doing it with that goal in mind because obviously
Yes,
if
I wanna
Chase
grow
Tag
the
grows, then
sport.
you grow with it.
Yeah, 100%.
That's I mean, all of us who are investing in the sport, that's what we're doing. Like,
I
we're
wanna I guess my legitimate goal with this is, like, I want to either host an event or help, like, you host an event that brings in actual fans to our venue. Like, I want to, like, because Chase Tag does that a bit. Like, I mean, they filled out that stadium at Worlds. Um, I guess I'd be curious, I don't even know this, I'm just talking out of my butt. I assume a lot of these people are, like, local people that, like, I don't know how they promote that event, but they did a great job of promoting it last Worlds and got a lot of people in. But I want, like, a smaller event to bring in people. So I wanna, like, get these videos to gain enough of a fan base where we can host something smaller, like the scale of, like, a chase off we host at Dex, and maybe not at Dex, maybe it's somewhere else, or, like, I wanna bring in, like, even, like, 50 fans. Like, if 50 people are like, like, even 20, honestly. 20 people came in and said, "Oh, those videos you made, like, I've been watching Chase Tag from all those videos you made, and we're coming in to watch this because we love this sport." Like, not just family and friends, like, I want to bring in genuine fans to an event, and if I can do that, I feel like I will see like, it's so much more tangible, the growth of the sport at that point. Does that make sense?
yeah, 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 it's a sick goal.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's so awesome. I mean, the content you're posting is really doing that, though. I feel like. I mean, it's getting thousands. So let me explain
Okay, yeah,
before you.
clarify.
Let me clarify. So my point of being is like I have friends of mine who are like, oh my god, I watched this video on Instagram or TikTok the other day, and it was at your gym, or it was, or I'm like, oh yeah, like, I know the guy who made that video. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you already are bringing new fans into the sport, whether you know it or not.
Okay.
So obviously they're not like coming to events yet. People don't even know the events even exist because, quite frankly, they don't really exist that much anyway.
Yeah.
But
And I also I think I could do like, I wanna try to get into, like, actually promoting one of these events because Toma and Loic do that really well. They make really sick edits, like, leading up to Worlds that, like, show what the sport is, and I feel like I'm not as good at, like, making that hype edit that's, like I mean, the one they made for, like, Ghent too, I think, like, the one for just the little, like, Instagram reels that look so, like, high quality, like, "Here's this event on this date, like, pull up." So I wanna do more of that because I think what you're saying is true of their like, I am gaining some fans for this sport, but we need to, like, direct them to something.
yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. That's for sure. But the fact that you're doing that is more than most people are doing to grow the sport. I mean, you and Red One, who else is really posting content like this? It's really just the two of you that are posting these super viral clips of Chase Tag,
Yeah.
and it's all just matches. Like you have your match reviews, of course, but all of Red One's content is just Chase videos.
Yeah, just single chases.
Yeah, and they're doing super, super well.
Yeah.
So clearly, people like watching Chase Tag, but that's not the issue.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the issue is?
There's, like, a couple different things. I think one, I think these individual chases, not all of them, but they will always do good. Like, not every chase, but, like, indefinitely, a really good, interesting chase 5 years from now is still gonna get millions of views. You know what I mean? Like, same with parkour. Like, parkour, maybe not every clip is going viral. There's no, like maybe not all your clips do, or maybe there's nobody that has a consistent account that always gets a bunch of views, but, like, I think Chase Tag's always just gonna do well as, like, an individual thing, but that doesn't actually do anything for the sport, if that makes sense. So I feel like I almost, like, don't care that much if my videos get if an individual chase gets 20 million views, besides the fact that maybe I make a little more money from it. But I don't really care about that in the grand scheme of things because Chase Tag will always get views. But there's no like the money you get from just like views is like so insignificant for like a sport this big. Like if we want this sport to like make money for the people who own it and the athletes and everyone involved to be profitable, you need more than just like a chase getting posted every now and then. You actually need like a culture behind the whole sport and people that love it, you know?
Correct, but doesn't posting this content start creating that culture and get more eyes on it from people that wouldn't otherwise have seen it?
Individual chases, no. Individual chases bring like show people like, oh, this exists. Or it like like for example, like I see videos of like a highlights of like the UFC, but I almost never watch a UFC fight unless like I'm out at a bar with you guys, and you guys are all like, "Guys, the UFC fight's on, like, let's go to, like, Buffalo Wild Wings." And I'm like, "Sure, that sounds fun." But I am not a fan of the UFC as an individual. Does that make sense? But I still see those individual clips that go viral because it's an individual clip and it's short
Yeah,
form.
but that's you. I think some people, they do see clips like this and become fans because that's how they first get exposed to it. Because if no one's posting stuff like this, how do people know about it in the first place? Because you're right.
Yeah.
I think some people will see content and just, yeah, see the viral clips and that's it. Like I have plenty of friends like that, but I know other people that like they'll become interested because they see this clip, and that's where they come. Like actually, at our last comp, by the way, I'm not sure if you know this, we had people travel down because they saw videos, new chase tag, and they came down just to watch it because they're fans of chase tag.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Dang, I didn't know that.
yeah.
I
Like
just
they,
assume everyone's family and friends.
no, people literally came to our last comp because they're fans of chase tag, and they
Dang,
mentioned
that's
they've seen the
sick.
videos online and stuff. So it's already happening. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, that's what I was trying to say earlier too. It's like without this kind of content, it doesn't get the exposure.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying it's the only thing, but it's definitely an important thing to help grow the sport.
It
For sure.
is, but I just think that's, like, literally the most basic thing because, like, chase tagging will always be interesting, and it's so easy to just film a clip on your phone and post it. You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, the easiest form of, like, content you can make from chase
I
tag.
mean, I agree, but no one else was doing it really until you guys started doing it.
Because no one else really, like, I feel like realized they had access to it either. Like, for so many years of chase tag, like, you weren't allowed to film anything from those big comps.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think there is an element of, like, where you film from, the quality at which you film, like, how you, like I mean, I even just, like, me, like, keyframe like, cropping and zooming in a little bit to keep the frame tighter, like, all of that makes the videos look a little bit nicer and a little more professional even though it's filmed on a phone. Um, so there's, like, little things I've changed that I think make some of these videos perform better, but, like, I think people were just, like, limited before or, like I don't know, I still just think, like, an individual chase doesn't do much besides, like, I like, maybe you pique a little interest, but there's no route to connect someone into being a fan from that right now. Does that make sense? But I don't necessarily know what the next step is, like, I'd say maybe one step up from that is my match review videos. It's a video where, like, I can hype up certain athletes or hype up a certain team a little bit and, like, give a little more character, like, I was doing that with Paul and Don and probably a couple other people, I can't think of who else right now, but I'll, like, hype up a couple people to, like, "Oh, is this guy the new GOAT of chase tag?" And, like, people will follow that person for a couple videos, you know, and, like, be stoked when they see, like, Don play again. And, uh, so I think those match reviews are, like, one step up where it, like, kinda gets people interested, but it's still, like, the attention span of a short form video. So it's still people that are just scrolling and, like, kind of paying attention and getting a little more interested, but, like, you need people that wanna, like, watch a new match when it comes out every week or, like, watch the next tournament or
There needs to be something.
yeah.
I think so. I agree with you. I guess the point I was trying to make about how important this content is because it gets eyes on the sport, and it's all part of the marketing machine and how you get things rolling for this sport. And unfortunately, like the world we live in nowadays, like social media just is the best outlet for that.
Yeah.
But you're right, there does need to be something for them to then go to afterwards,
Yeah.
which there also really isn't right now.
Mhm.
So again, it's all related, but I'm just not trying to downplay the work you're doing because I think it really is valuable to the sport.
Okay, thanks.
You don't think so?
I thought so for, like, a little bit, but it feels, almost useless now. Like,
Really?
I mean, it, like, benefits me, but, like,
It,
I wouldn't say useless. I don't wanna, like it feels well, one, I don't even, like, super enjoy making, like, the match review videos. They're so repetitive and, like, they take a lot of mental energy for me because I have to, like, get in that hype zone and, like, come up with a creative hook, and, like, so many matches are just, like, the same, and I'm, like, making stuff up a lot of times, like, I'm not, like, overtly, like, lying, but I'm, like, trying to, like, come up with a creative way to frame the match, you know, of, like, making somebody, like, the, uh like, something simple as, like, "Oh, is Dan is the best player at chase tag." Like, I'm not I don't actually care who the best player at chase tag is, but I might say something like, "Dan is one of the best," and I might say a little, like, creative thing to make him sound like he's the best for that video, but maybe I purposely say that he's the best, and then he gets defeated at the end, you know? Like, I might say that on a video like that because it's like, "Oh, like, well, is he the best anymore? Like, he just got beat at the end," you know?
you're creating a story.
Yeah, I'm just creating a bunch of, like, random stories, um, but, like,
which helps sell the content.
it does. But I don't know, I guess I just don't like, I'm good at making them, and, like, I don't, like, hate making them, but I also, like, it's not my favorite thing to make. So I have a bit of burnout. It's hard for me to, like, stick with it because I'm not always enjoying that process of making them. Um, and, ah, dude, I'm getting so lost in my brain. But
That's okay.
yeah, I think there's, like, more to to go from there. Like, I wanna work with, like, Chase Tag more, like, I've talked to Loic and Toma a little bit and, like, tried to figure out, like feel like for a while I was like, "I'm gonna do my own thing because like, if they're not gonna do this, I'm gonna do it." And it's like, now I'm like, what I'm doing is so pointless unless I work with them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I was just being all stubborn and and, like but what does that get me? Nothing. Like, I could keep making this and make, like, a little bit of money on the side or whatever, but then it, like, doesn't build into anything, and I feel this sense of, like, "What am I even doing with my life?"
Damn, we're getting deep out
Yeah,
here,
we
son.
are. I don't know, maybe that's just me recently, but, like
Well, because it's interesting. This is my first time hearing you say this because the last time you and I talked about this stuff, you were super excited about it. You were like, "Oh, I can't wait to do all this," and now like you're just facing burnout for sure. Is what it sounds
yeah,
like, which sucks.
dude, my life's a roller coaster.
Well, no, we all face burnout, but it just sucks because you're so good at what you do, and I really do think it has an impact on the sport in a positive way. Like, I really don't want you to think it's pointless because it's not, man. Like, so many people have told me, "Oh, I saw this video at your gym," or "Oh, like this thing." Like, people see these videos, they're getting millions of views.
Yeah.
That does do something for the growth of the sport. Maybe not right
It
now.
it does, but I guess it's like it's hard because I don't talk to Loic and Toma, and I never talk to the brothers, and I want to. I was gonna reach out to them soon. But I mean, it almost feels like it's like too late. Not too late, but like they're gonna be so busy with Worlds this next couple of months, like they're probably not thinking about much else right now. But I don't know. I don't talk to them. Uh, but it's like I'd like to work together with them more, or like do more, like because like maybe they're working on a lot, and I don't know that. But then if I don't know that they're doing anything, it's so easy to be like, "Ah, they're not doing anything." So, like, what am I even making these videos for? Because it's like, part of me is like, I don't wanna keep making the exact same thing every time. There is a point where these match reviews, at least in my brain, like, bleed together, and it's hard to, like, see the difference between each one or make each one creative in its own way. Because I hate making just complete slop. Like, I want it to be creative and to challenge myself a little bit with, like, the story and all the videos. So, like, there's a little bit of burnout there, and then it's like, but where does it feed into? Like, if I knew that there's, like, another comp coming up or a series coming up and that, like, I can use my videos to funnel into that and, like, everything can grow up with that, awesome. But it's like, I feeling this, like, what if they're not doing anything? What if there is no event after this next event? Like, being in the dark just makes me, like, question everything sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
And I trust me, bro. I can't understand, but I can understand a little bit of how hard editing all these videos are. I just spent like 50 to 100 hours editing our Worlds video for last year. Like, it's hard doing this stuff.
Yeah.
And the work that Toma and Loic do, like, it's hard. It's draining, like you're saying. Like, you're doing this stuff, and people are
Yeah.
talking smack and saying bad things about you. Like, it's draining, man.
Wait, what are people saying about me?
No, not you.
Who's talking smack?
No. I'm saying the burnout thing because I know, like people are always saying negative things about Chase Tag, about the work people are doing. We hear these things in the community.
Yeah.
That's I'm not talking about you direct. I'm talking about in general. Sorry,
Okay.
generalizing here. The point of me saying that was just like it's hard to do what you guys are doing, but without you guys doing it, I think people like you have to step up to do it though. Just like us getting quads, just like us offering chase side classes, like we all are doing this together, but it's so small. It's gonna take so much time for it to
Yeah.
blow up where we're all working together and doing these things. And we kind of are just independently.
Yeah.
Like I agree that we all should work together a lot more. There should be some sort of channel for all of us to communicate and talk about things like this because there's a space for everyone to do that thing, to do their
Yeah.
own thing. As long as it, like you're saying, leads to something eventually, which just
Yeah.
doesn't exist right now. Because there is so much uncertainty, even from the sport as a whole, which is scary for us.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if Chase Tag dies this year, you've spent how many hours editing videos? I've spent
I
who
mean, at
knows how
least I,
much
like,
money.
made money from those videos. So, like, it wasn't useless for me personally, like, if that makes sense. So
Sure,
I
yeah.
wouldn't regret that. Sorry, continue. I
No,
cut
no,
you
no,
off.
it's okay. But for me, it's like I've invested lots of money in Chase Tag. So
Yeah,
Chase Tag
you took
does.
the real investment. Like, if it ended, you'd be the one taking, like, a big L.
Huge L. Yeah, fat L. but but the point is like we do this because we believe in the sport and that it can be successful.
Yeah.
And like again, I know it feels bad for you to do it sometimes because you're not working with them or whatever, and like you don't see you're not like seeing the results, I guess now. But I think the point is like even for me now, I'm not seeing the results that benefits me having a quad in my gym. I don't. But it's an investment in the future where it could go. And without content like the stuff you're making, without people buying quads, it doesn't create a path for that to get there to that one day anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I understand like feeling the way you're feeling now, but without doing it, it definitely doesn't get to that point one day. People have to step up and do things to put those blocks in place to create that freaking giant pyramid.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Bradley. It's a long story. It's inside
Okay.
joke. Inside joke. He's not gonna listen to this, but it's fine for those people that do and no understand the memes here. But sorry, my bad, people. But it would be cool to see Chase Tag work with people like you, Red One, to help grow things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was saying earlier. I was asking that question of like, I know you have opinions on this. Is this what we're talking about now? Is like clearly you've been doing this for a while. You see what content works. You know what's been working. You see what videos get these views, which ones don't. That knowledge is beneficial. I think Chase Tag should do what you're kind of doing, or at least learn from it. Work together, do something.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I feel like for a while I was like, oh, I'll just do it on my own and not work together because like I'm making money from it. So like, it's like less appealing to want to like work together or work for them unless like I don't know, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of money, so like it's not like I can like pitch being like, "Hey, you should like hire me." Like everyone's scraping at breadcrumbs right now it seems like to like keep the sport alive. Um but there is a point where it's like I almost do just want to do stuff for them for like free or for like it's hard because it's like I don't necessarily enjoy making some of the videos that I do or not all the time. Like it is my own effort. So it's like if I were just like give them all my videos for them to post on their channels, which would probably help their channels a little bit or something. I don't know if they'd even want that. But I guess like it's like, but then if I do all that and then I don't make any money from it, it's like I'm putting like a lot of hours in a week sometimes to like make these videos happen. So I don't know. I just go back and forth, but I'd love to like do more stuff with them to like promote something or to like hype up the next event or I don't know. I have a bunch of ideas about different types of events even to host or like different directions the sport could go from here. But
Well, I'd love to hear what those are in a second, but real quick, if you had a magic wand or you could snap your fingers and just like, what would be ideal for you to stay involved with Chase Tag? Like you're feeling this burnout now. What would need to change for you to be gung ho, staying in it to keep producing the content that you're producing now?
dude, I don't know. I guess like I mean if I could snap a magic wand or whatever, wait
Yeah, so you know
uh
what I meant.
I would like I guess just like having the sport be bigger in general. Like knowing that like I'm like if I could do this as like more of a job and know that I'm making money for like what I'm making. Like I feel like there's burnout with content too because like I'm not paid a salary. So like 1 month I could make like $5,000 cuz all my videos did good. And then the next month my videos get the same amount of views and then social media just pays less because maybe half those views came from like India instead of like the United States. Like just random things like that change how much money I make in a month. So I could put in the same amount of effort and then make like $1,000 in a month, you know?
That makes sense. You're consistently putting out the same output of work, hard work, but then inconsistently getting paid for that hard work you're putting in.
Yeah. Which some months, if it's like a big month, it's like, oh, sick. But then the next month, if it's like pee pee poo poo, it's like, dang.
See, I don't think people realize how hard it is to be a content creator.
It's hardest job on the planet, bro.
Dude, I can't imagine.
It's like streaming and then like content creation is like right below it. Like being a generic influencer is like right below streaming.
Yeah, I mean,
And then like construction works like down
yeah,
here.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, we're not trying to compare, whatever. Like
I
obviously,
am.
Roland wants to fight every construction worker.
Whoa, I didn't say I wanted to fight him, bro.
What's the
Job's
hardest
hard
job?
enough already.
Yeah, whatever. But the point being is that it's a hard job. Like it's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, but yeah, it's crazy. The people that are good at it, like I mean, props to them. Some people, it's people. People I think will see influencers online or something and be like, oh, like I want to do that one day. They don't realize how much effort it takes to get to that
Yeah.
point. Like, I mean, you were really close friends with maybe you still are with Bob for a long time. He's obviously doing great at that. And
Yeah.
now, you know what I mean? Like Dom's doing it. People are doing it, but it's so hard to get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But I still think that you're doing great at it.
Thanks.
And you gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, stop completely, it's just hard to, like, stick with it all the
Yeah, it makes
time.
sense why you're feeling that burnout and not wanting to be with it. And yeah, I mean, for me, like, I could snap my fingers and fix thing, or like, not sorry, fix things is the wrong word. I'm sorry, but like, if I could, whatever, magic had all the power, magic wand.
Pet a genie, get a wish.
Yeah. It would be. There's so many things, man. That there would be sponsors and big sponsors would be involved in Chase Tag. That people get paid to be professional athletes in tag. That there be yeah, that you just have big sponsors come in and pay athletes. It's also the fact that, like, me having a quad that Chase Tag would bring people to my gym, and people would see Chase Tag and wanna go, "Oh, I wanna go learn that, I wanna go try that," and it would bring kids to the gym that would eventually lead to leagues and competitions for kids that would then fuel me to have a youth Chase Tag team. There's gonna be
Yeah.
quads all over the country, like there's with ninjas that I can go to comps with my team every other weekend or every month and do Chase Tag comps. Sorry, I'm talking very fast now.
No, you're good.
But, like, there's so many things that I would just be that's why I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing it for those potentials one day.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, right now, I don't make anything from Chase Tag. In fact, I lose money every single month off it because we had to take out a loan to get the quad. So, I've literally only lost money doing Chase Tag. So, like
Yeah, that's rough.
yeah. And, like, hosting the US champ all these things I spent money on, and, like, I do it because I want to see the sport grow. Because one day I think I can pay athletes to be athletes, and they can bring all these people to my gym. It can increase memberships. It can do all these things. But again, I keep saying this, but if people like you and I and whoever else, Red One, Dave, everybody doesn't keep doing this stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because without us, the sport just dies.
Yeah.
So like you got to dude, like
No,
keep
I've thought about this from every angle.
you
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and it stresses me out. Because I was like, dude, this like once every 2 years having a big comp, just like it doesn't work, you know. And like, if the brothers are watching this, or Loke or Toma, like, I mean, these aren't like concrete opinions I have. It's just me being stubborn in my room at like 1 in the morning, being like, this isn't working. Uh, but like, so like for a little bit, I'll be like, like you know, we've tried this formula, like World Chase as a whole has like tried these big comps, and I feel like from a fan base growth, at least from my perspective, I haven't seen a lot of growth of like fans coming into the sport or like increase in sponsorship. Like it seems like they're trying to find sponsors for every event, or like, trying to get this next event going every time. And the events look sick. Like that is the pinnacle of the sport. And in my mind, I'm like, all right, we know that we can do this. Like we know that like is a thing. It looks amazing. That's like what we want. But like it's not working right now to have one of these every so often, you know? Um and I know like the counter argument is like, well, you can't like downgrade in quality cuz like you might lose the few fans that we have if like the comps don't look as good anymore. Um but then my other response was like, because if I'm like being all stubborn, being like, these comps don't work, we can't just keep doing one of these massive comps. We need to like invest into this a different way or whatever. But I think if we didn't even have that one comp every 2 years, everyone might just quit. Because the reason there was all this appeal years ago, and not saying everyone would quit, but like that is a risk in some way, is that a few years ago, like you would be going to like the esports arena in Texas, or you'd go to the Arnold, and then you have the World Championship, and it's these huge venues, and it's a great production, and you have people like Danny like running the whole thing, and you feel a part of it, and you have the camera crew, and it's sick. And it brings a lot of these young parkour athletes out who are like, that's sick. Like, I feel like a professional athlete. I get treated like one. I'm in this big production. It's fun to be a part of. And I think that brings a lot of people into the sport. But I think if you like fully didn't have that at all, like there potentially is more athlete burnout of like, all right, what are we even doing? So like even if I tried one of my other ideas that I have for like how we could run comps or build up a league or a circuit or something in a different way. It's like, what if every athlete just like kind of quit because the whatever I'm presenting isn't as big of a scale and it doesn't feel worth it to. It's kind of like, what am I doing this for? You know? Does that make sense? Like how many people would stop if there isn't like this culture around it?
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I never thought about it that way, to be honest. Like, yeah, what if the events were smaller scale, and what if people left because they were smaller scale?
Yeah.
That's a fair
I think a
point.
lot of people already did leave because they aren't hosting these big comps as often. And we still have like your chase offs every now and then, and we have these international comps. So we have this like tight knit group of like the sport has grown in skill level a lot. And we have like, 10 to 20 really high level teams, and maybe 10 of them are going to some of these comps pretty consistently, like international comps. But the other teams can't afford to do that. And if they don't go to these big international comps, there's only like one event a year maybe for them to like really go to that has high level athletes to compete with. So
And even then, like, if they're going to, like, let's say, a US qualifier,
I guess last year had a couple for sure. You had the US
well, there
qualifier,
was
the US
2 of them,
final.
but still, like, if you're a new team trying to get involved in the sport, like you said, the level's so high now that, like,
Yep.
there's not really a place for you to, like, grow up to that point. You're just thrown in with the
Mhm.
wolves, and then it's just hard to stay with it because 'cause you're just getting
Yeah.
destroyed. So, I had this idea, unless do you wanna finish what you were going where
I
we
think
were
that's
with that?
about it.
So, essentially, like, my thought is that all of these comps should count for something, like, in rankings or standings, basically. So, like right now, the way it stands is for it to be an official chase tag comp, like you have to like submit it and do all these things and all that. But for example, our chase offs, right?
Yeah.
Or the ones at Knicks or Momentum, wherever, red ones thing, they should all count for league points or standings or whatever. So that encourages people to number one, people to go to it. But essentially the thought is like almost like how the WNL does it, where there's a start of the season, you have all these comps lined up, teams can go to these comps, they compete. And then at the end of the season, let's say your top 2 team, 3 teams, whatever, I'm not giving you the exact specifics, just like the
Yeah.
rough bare bones, but then those teams will get to go to Worlds, and then there's you still have the championship and all the like regional championships, and then this, and then Worlds. But it's an entire season where every single comp that's hosted at a gym anywhere in the country is a part of that circuit. So there's more comps happening consistently throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because like right now, like the comp we just hosted, they didn't mean anything. Even if it was an official or chase tag event, it wouldn't lead to anyone qualifying for worlds or anything happening. It's just like, oh, it's an
Yeah.
official event now. You know what I mean? It has a name to it.
The only problem with that though is that some of these y- you might actually have less people pulling up to it, because if they can't pull up as a whole team, it's not worth it to come, because if they're not playing with their traditional team, they like, why would I come? If only me and Alex could show up, but then we're not even allowed to play because we're not on the Dexterity, like we don't have a full Dexterity Depot team, you know.
Yeah, but the counter of not having anything is where we're at now. You know what I mean? Like just one event a year, like we're talking about. So like if there's more events per year that actually matter and mean something and are standing
Well, I
towards
think
something.
some of these events mean something even though they don't mean anything, cuz honestly, none of these events mean anything. At least to me personally, none of this matters right now. It's all just like for a little bit of clout for like between me and the 50 other people who play chase tag in the world.
Uh,
You know what I mean? It's like you get a tote around for a year like, "Oh, I'm this year's winner." So, like, I don't care. Like, it is fun. Like, I want to play, I want to win, I want to do good. But like at the end of the day, I guess you could say, why does anything matter? But like why does this matter? Um, but I think what does matter to people is the quality of the event. So it doesn't necessarily matter that it leads into worlds or anything. But like I'm like even like just for my perspective, like content wise, like I go like I'm more likely to go to an event if I know I can film it and I can like get good videos out of it to make good like content. But if there's no like good teams pulling up to that event, then I just know that the matches aren't going to be as good and I'm going to be less likely to film. So I think like the pull doesn't have to be like that the goes into some circuit, but that you have high level teams there and it draws more people to want to show up, because it's like, oh, you know, like
yes. And
Rooftop Kings and Hollywood and Eugen are all going to be at this comp. Like, I want to go to this comp because I want to like,
yes, but
play good people.
if you're a new team or someone hasn't doesn't involved in chase tag, that doesn't give you an avenue to get involved in it. So the solution, the idea that I have essentially is for the growth of the sport, not the content or this or that.
Yeah.
Because you're right, like that is the best content and the best teams are there, the best, like you just said. But if it's just that, then how does someone else get involved in that? Like, how does it? There's no structure to get someone from like just starting out to then getting to that level.
Yeah. But I think you still get like beginner level players. Like I feel like that doesn't bring brand new people into the sport, but it does like I still think having more teams and more players in general pulling up to these events is like what matters more. Like I think a team like Schedule 1 would be more likely to come out to an event even though I mean they have some experience under their belt now, but they're on the more beginner side of the sport. Like they they would be more likely to pull up to an event if they knew that there was going to be like 10 other teams there so they'd get their like money's worth
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
play.
So these events I'm proposing still would have that, and so to use that kind of not against you, but to think of it this way, like without having the U.S. qualifiers, there wouldn't have been schedule wouldn't have had an opportunity to compete. Squonks wouldn't have opportunity to compete. Vanguard wouldn't have an opportunity to compete
That's true.
because there's two qualifiers. There's two additional events. That was their entrance into the sport. So if there were more events like that, it would give more potential for them, and also for them to have more opportunities to compete, keeps them active. It's not just like because if we didn't have the U.S. regionals or sorry qualifiers and finals, it would have just been worlds again, and then
Yeah, that's
no
true.
teams would have been involved. You know what I mean? So it's like we would have been okay because we were at worlds last year, so we would have got selected again.
Yeah.
But those other teams never would have existed, or never had that opportunity. So like we need more comps that matter for that to draw them people in.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
That's just my opinion, and I'm
I guess
not
I would say that both of those routes could work. You could either have a comp that matters for those reasons or like the other reason a comp matters is because of the turnout of athletes.
sure. I think both those things are they're definitely connected, and it's like this idea of like having more comps and having all the gym comps matter. Like I think it needs to be worked out more. Like, I'm not saying this is the end all be all. Like I need to think through the idea and think about the specifics of how the rules will work. And it's just like the basic idea is just more events.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. Like how can we maximize the events and the potential to grow the sport, get more people involved with it?
Yeah.
And that
But if
just
you already have like there's also a point of like burnout with events too. Like I feel like we were doing that for a while in like 2022 or 2023 or something, maybe 2023. There was like chase offs all the time. And I feel like people stopped coming to chase offs after a
yeah, I
little
think they
bit.
still need to be like spread out for sure. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be every week. In ninja comps, there are like 20 comps a weekend, every weekend, the entire season. It doesn't need to be like that. It just
Yeah.
even if it was like one every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever, something until then this is when Worlds is. So it's not just like 2 years are off, now Worlds is here again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, well now there's qualifier here. It builds up. So that way these videos you're talking about, you can send people to go watch the footage from the next qualifier, go pull up to the gym to watch in person, or the next event is this day. Then you can use your content to promote these different things, and it promotes chase tag, and it keeps going and growing
Yeah.
and growing. Um, lost my train of thought, unfortunately. But with the I think they do need to mean something though, because like let's say like Knicks host a qualifier or something. You know what I mean? It's I'm not, Momentum will say better example. They're 6 hours away by plane. Like it's super far away.
Yeah.
Like going there for fun is cool. We've done it twice now. Like we've gone, it's fun, it's a good time. But like we're more likely to go to it. I feel like at least maybe I'm speaking just for myself here and from talking to like Aaron and Paul from our team. But like if it's an official qualifier, we're more likely to go there. If
Yeah.
it's an official event. You know what I mean? And to think about and like with Ninja, if it's a World Ninja League comp, people are going to go to it because it's a WNL comp. You get your points, you go up in the standings. Like it has weight to it.
Yeah.
If I host an Ninja comp here next weekend, I'm not going to get nearly the same. Well, maybe we would, but point being is I'm not going to get nearly the same pulls I would if it was actual like an NSC comp or WNL comp. Like it has
Yeah.
that like weight to it, so it means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
I definitely think we need like a qualifier and a final in the US every year or something like that.
yeah, like or multiple qualifiers, whatever, and then then it funnels in. It keeps the ball going. But also, I don't know. It's so hard. These are just ideas, and obviously, like you and I are sitting here having this conversation. It's been fun, by the way. But ultimately, like we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We don't know what the brothers are working on. I
Yeah.
mean, they work so hard all year round. They're doing all sorts of events. So like, I'd love to have one of them on and talk to them about it and see what they think and all. But ultimately, like everyone's doing their best to try to grow the sport.
Yeah.
We're all just doing our best, trying to do things, and that's how it is. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, Chase I will keep growing.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Are you excited for Worlds, by the way?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
What's your hot take? Who do you think's gonna win?
Uh Me. Just me, all alone. No. Dude, I don't know. I feel like it's just, like, up in the air. Like, I feel like that's the thing is, like, there's so many high level teams that, like, I mean, one person plays bad on one of those teams, and that's the game, you know? So, yeah, I just it could go any direction. I have no hot takes on who's gonna win this year.
That's fair. I mean, it's hard to predict. Like you're right. I think everyone's gotten so good now that it's going to come down to like millimeters. Like, yeah, one mistake or whatever. That's what it's going to come down to. Who's
Yeah.
the most on that day?
Yep.
Do you have do you think about so going into competitions? Do you think about what your matchups are going to be? Like, what is your game plan? What's your
No.
mindset going into? No, you just ball up.
I tell Aaron, I say, "Hey, tell me who I'm playing against." And then when he tells me to go up on the starter's plate, I go up on the starter's plate. He
I don't.
does. I like sometimes he gives me more information, but I like forget a lot of it a lot of times. Like Aaron does so much research, dude. Like he'll like if there's like a player, like he gets our matchups for every team. Like so he'll tell me who I'm going against, and he'll have like a compilation of that player, and like I'm not gonna name names or even say exactly what this is because I don't want to give up this crucial information. But like let's say one of my matchups is against somebody, and that person every time they start runs from like the ridge to the front line, like 90% of the time. Maybe that's not even a good enough example.
No, it
Let's
makes
say
sense. It makes sense. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
yeah,
You're
okay.
good.
So they run from the ridge to the starter line or to the front line. Um and like literally he'll pull up like 15 clips of this person going from the ridge to the front line every single time. And I'm like, damn, that's like every single one of that person's chases. Like, this isn't like a random, like, oh, he does it like every once in a while or kind of frequently. It's like every time. And so there was one person in particular where he showed me this guy's clips. He was like, you're going to tag this guy. And by the way, every time he starts, he runs from the ridge to the front line. And I was like, sick. And that was like the only time I've taken like information on someone, used it, and it worked. Like, so I saw their starting route. I knew they ran that way every time, and I played my start to like force them in that direction so they wouldn't be tempted to even run the other way. And then I like shut them down when they ran that way. But so Aaron pulls up a lot of information, and I pay like a little bit of attention when he like I focus when he's telling me. But then for the most part, I'm just like, all right, tell me when to play.
You just go in and ball up.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about it too much. Like, tell me when it's my turn to play, and I'll play. I don't like getting in my head of being like, "Ooh, I don't want to go against this person," or "I don't want to do this." It's like, dude, tell me when it's my turn to play, and I'll play the game that I always play.
Yeah, that is fair. I think everyone has their own idea of what works, what doesn't work in things, and how they prepare and all that. So it seems like you're more just go with the flow, just like
Yeah,
put me in,
put me in, coach.
put me in, coach. Oh man, what a crazy sport. Worlds. Yeah, it's hard to predict who's gonna win for sure. Back to that. I don't think it's like
Yeah, who do you think's gonna win? You got a hot take.
I
I can
really
see it in your eyes.
honestly I
Who is it,
don't.
Tim? Say it. Who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I don't know who's gonna win, but I think that what people will make it out of the groups, I think it'll be Hollywood and Rooftop Kings out of the
First group.
first group. I think our group, I think it. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say us. Why would I not? But
Biased.
yeah, duh. But I think between us, Eugen, and 59 is my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my top three. I think from that group.
Is Hugo playing for 59?
I don't remember. Probably. I honestly don't know.
I can't remember. He hasn't been at the last couple of comps, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I feel like that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think Gavin makes a huge difference for that
Gavin makes
team.
up, dude. I love Gavin. He's an
But if they have
animal.
Gavin and Hugo, then like I definitely it'll be them and Eugen.
You have no faith.
No, we got a chance. Hey, all I'm saying is we gotta win like one of these comps, you know?
Yeah, we will. We will one day. Yeah. Roland always is like, oh, like one day we can't keep losing. What do you
Yeah, we
always?
can't lose every match. We can't. Statistically, it's impossible.
I think our team has so much potential to do well, man. I think every year we've done it, we keep making mistakes, and it hasn't been our time.
Yeah.
Again, this everyone's gotten so good that it's gonna come down to the wire, and I feel like as long as we can stay calm and just do what we do, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any team there that's like incredibly better than us.
Yeah.
That's like substantially better.
Yeah.
Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, no, what? I think no. What?
Wait,
I
wait.
think we're evenly matched with the top teams at this comp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I guess time will tell.
Yeah. I think there's a skill limit to the sport.
Interesting. That's a hot take.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I think there's like a push for a long time that like, oh, like in 5 years, like the strategy is gonna be insane. I think we're like almost at that point. And maybe I'll like clip this and like I'll eat my words in a couple years. But I think we've flushed out most of the things and like new techniques might kind of come in. But I think the way the game's played will not change significantly more than where it's at now. And I think it's like you can keep training and be more consistent at this point, but I don't think there's gonna be like if you remember the skill gap between uh like Texas and Pan Am's, like when people like had those couple of months and they were on the quad, like you could tell who was practicing and who wasn't. But I think now that people have the quad, there's like a general couple of ways to play and like a general strategy. And I think it's a lot easier now for new people to come in the sport and learn and get up to that high level very fast because the game has been figured out for the most part.
What are we defining as skills, though? I guess.
Like there's going to be new techniques and new dives and maybe like slightly new ways to like move around the quad, but the general like strategy of how you play is not going to like advance like crazy. Like if you remember how I taught my like tagging workshop,
Yeah.
like I think that the way I explain that is like the general way of how you play the game. And like, not that my exact map of this sport or like how I tag is how everyone does it, but it's very similar to how most people play, and most people are going to continue to play like that. I don't think it's going to like change exponentially from here. But I think like new moves will be like maybe a new dive or like I mean think about like what's his name? Derek from Vanguard, like his dive through the ridge. You know what I'm talking about? His
Yeah.
bullet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's not gonna become a thing that like every single person is gonna learn. Like I think there's gonna be things like that and the Flying Dutchman that are like these cool like one-off skills that like some people master and they'll get some tags with it and it's sick. But I don't think that's gonna like become like everyday tags and get like I think the dives always change a bit and there's gonna be a flow of like dives and tagging techniques, but like the general strategy or the general like center control is going to stay pretty similar, and I think that's where we're like
Yeah. I
maxed
think.
out.
Okay. So as far as general strategy, yes, I think where it's gonna maybe grow is in reaction time, in timing, reaction time, timing. Sorry, like an understanding of angles of space. I think those things will keep getting higher. Because to compare,
Yes,
I
but
keep
not like exponentially. Like it's going to be like a small jump or two.
maybe, but I think like that's what separates at the highest level. Because you can come in and learn the skills like you're saying, but
Yeah.
like to compare it back to like striking, for example, it's like most people throw the same basic things. You have like a jab, you have your hook, uppercut, you have a
Yeah.
like fundamental techniques that you use. But the elite people are the ones that understand the timing, the spacing, and when to throw those things at the right time, at the perfect time, and how to counter those things. That's what separates them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like yeah, like the fundamental skills will stay the same, but like the understanding of how to use those skills at high speeds and high levels is what will I think grow, or maybe that will at least define the
Yeah.
highest
I
level.
think I think the more you train, the more consistent you'll be, but I don't think there's going to be this crazy like I don't think people are gonna get, like, significantly faster. Like, I think there's
Oh,
there's
I see what
enough
you're saying.
high-level athletes now,
Yeah, I
like,
see what you're saying.
that are moving through this environment. You only have 40 feet to accelerate at most.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah, I think yeah,
wait,
you're
how
right
big
about
is the
that.
quad? 20 meters? Or
40,
no,
40 feet.
12 meters, so it's, like, 40
40
feet.
feet, yeah, 12
Okay.
meters. Yeah.
So, yeah, you have, like, that much space to accelerate. Like if you get someone like Usain Bolt or someone that's at that top 1 percentile of just being, like, a speed person or whatever, like, maybe you'll have some increase in that, but like there's enough high level athletes that move at like already like top human speeds almost. You know what I mean? Like I think the main fundamental of how the game works has been figured out for the most part. I don't think there's going to be a huge development in that.
Mhm.
I think there's gonna be a wave of, like, how people play a little bit, like, where they juke more, where they like to play a little bit, but I think
There's yeah, it's so hard for me to because I hear what you're saying and I agree, but there's also, like, just small things people do differently that just change how a chase will function.
yeah.
I don't wanna say like, it's the small jukes people do in certain places, like, no, or, like, even using the sisters, for example, like Sam with, like, the stutter, like, people are always inventing new ways of moving that make the game harder to react to.
Yeah.
It's also, like, it's being able to adapt.
But, like, how much did the stutter change the game? It, like, opened up the sisters more for sure. Like,
Right.
but, like, that's
Or, like, the ghost, I guess, like, it broke away. Okay, I so maybe as far as the fundamentals, like, the strategy and all, like, the yeah, maybe that's what stays the same, but then the moves give or, like, the understanding of the obstacles gives you more freedom in certain areas. Is that what you would agree with then, or
yeah, I
okay.
think so, but I think there's still I don't know, I'm ready to be proven wrong. Clip this and prove me I'm wrong in 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 years if the sport keeps growing, but
Yeah.
I think, like, personally, I don't train a whole lot of, like, new moves, and the way I play still works good. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I'm gonna laugh when someone clips that and you get evaded, like, 6 times at Worlds.
Yeah, dude, no, every comp, one person on our team does bad, and that's
That
why we
is
lose.
that is true.
Know who hasn't messed up yet? This guy.
Yes, you
What?
have. What do you mean?
Hey, I haven't I wasn't like I feel like every comp, one person, like, plays every match bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, everyone has their, like, off comp.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had,
fair.
like, an off match, but
True.
I don't think I've, like, played the whole comp bad.
Dang, you're right.
Not
You are the
until
most
this year, baby! This world is waiting for me.
No way. That's a good you have been the most consistent person on the team, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Everyone's had that. That's crazy.
But does that make sense? Like, maybe, like I don't know, like, I played a lot for, like, 2 years, like, I was practicing all the time, and now I don't practice that much, but there's people that are still practicing every day and trying new things, and they are not significantly better than me.
Mhm.
Like, even if they're, like, 5, 10% better or whatever, it's not like they're, like and I'm not saying this to, like, toot my own horn or whatever, but I think, like, there's a lot of people that are better than me because 'cause they're putting in way more time, but I feel like like, routes I'm running as a tagger work good still. Like, I think once you figure out that system, you gotta put in more reps, be more consistent, read people better, like, that stuff, you get more dialed in, and you're gonna be a more consistent athlete that makes fewer mistakes, but
Mm.
I think the sport boils down to who makes a mistake first.
Oh, yeah. That
So, I
100% agree with,
think
yeah.
a lot of the main way the sport works is not gonna change as much. I'm trying to find a better way to explain what I'm saying because
No, it
that's
makes sense.
so vague,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. I I definitely with yeah, like, the core principles of the game aren't gonna, like, change that much. I agree
yeah,
with that for sure. Like center control, you know what I mean? Like being in the corner as a Vader is not very great. Like I don't think those things are gonna change very much.
yeah,
Like those core things. Or like in your workshop, talk about like your like 3 center points, right? It's
yeah,
like I think those points are still gonna be strong. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
so, I feel like we definitely have a good grasp of like the overall strategy of the event, or sorry, of the competition and how to play. But there's still like minute details we could fix and clean up for sure.
yeah, there's always gonna be that.
Yeah.
I just don't think those, like, minute details are gonna create, like, a significant change.
Right. Yeah. That's
But
fair.
I don't know. I guess am I, like, undervaluing, like, that stutter on the sisters? Like, it feels big, but it also feels like I'm trying to think of another move that's, like, changed things, like, something like the spider or, like, I don't know, even just, like, the internal, like, routes people run. Like, I feel like people have, like, cleaned those up a lot, and it's like, if a new person comes in, I can teach them how to run these, like, inner routes as, like, a tagger
Mhm.
and to people are picking it up faster. You know what I mean? Because I think it's been figured out
I
a
agree
little
with
bit
that. Like it's
more.
definitely easier to coach now because it's more established.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing is like when I first got the quad and was coaching on it, like I had an understanding, but not near as much understanding I have now. And now it's like, okay, well, these are the positions you need to learn. This is how you gotta this is what you gotta learn. Like I've understood more how to break it down as someone who's new. So definitely it's easier for them to learn. Like, it's the
Yeah.
fundamentals and what's important and all these things. It's not that we didn't have that before, but it's just more concrete now, I feel like.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Yeah. You're still coaching, right? Motive?
Yeah. I do like private lessons.
Private lessons and stuff.
So I have like a couple kids I consistently coach every week.
Yeah. Could you see yourself coaching tag ever?
Mm, I mean, yeah, but maybe not like a full-time coach.
That's fair. Well, I guess here's a question, like, where do you wanna be in 5 years, 10 years, Roland? Where do you see yourself?
Dude, hopefully alive. I'd be sick if I'm still alive in 5 years.
Like, do you have any, like, long-term goals?
Sometimes. Um,
I feel like we caught you at a bad time this podcast. He's
yeah.
burned out, he doesn't wanna do videos anymore, he's giving up, guys.
Yeah, dude, I need a therapist, bro. Um, uh, 5-year goal. I don't know. It'd be cool, like, I guess, to like, if Chase Tag grew to a point to like do that full time, like make content for Chase Tag or work with Chase Tag in some way, that would be cool. Or, dude, I don't know. I just want to do something that matters. I want to have purpose in life. Yeah. I don't know. Grow the sport to be a cool thing or like help people or, dude, I don't know. I need
Yeah.
something that means something.
Yeah, dude. That's the best kind of goal to have.
Yeah.
You don't feel that way now. You don't feel like you have that thing that you're working towards.
Kind of. I don't know. I'm really lost right now, Tim. I feel like I was so confident when I was like 22 and I've just like lost all purpose.
Damn.
I feel like I was so happy go lucky and then like I just like lost really good friends or people like treated me like garbage and like now I'm just like
Hmm.
yeah,
Calloused.
calloused.
That's so
I'm so angry.
No, but that's a fair point. I feel like a lot of people deal with this kind of stuff though.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do when you hit that spot?
Yeah. What do you do? This is why I need a therapist. I
That's
need someone
fair.
to tell me how to deal with this stuff, how to move on. Maybe
So
not move on, but like how to like I feel like I spent so long trying to be like happy go lucky and get along with everyone and then when you like get like screwed over by someone like really close to you and it's like or like realize that someone like doesn't care about you as much as like you cared about them and it's like dude, I don't know. It's like well like like I feel like you put so much good energy out and like you don't get that back and it's like not that you should put you're only putting good energy back and you should have to receive something from that but it's like the feeling of getting like let down I guess or something and it's like I lost a lot of motivation to be so happy go lucky all the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's yeah, man.
drop that bomb on you there.
Nah, man, I get it. When did you first start noticing that change?
I'm not gonna get into too many details but like 3 years ago 3 to 4 years ago maybe
Mm,
that's when like all of it started.
hmm. Well, man, I'm wishing the best for you.
Yeah, thanks Tim.
I wanna like I feel like it is important to talk about this stuff though, because when people see, let's say maybe you online or anybody online, and they're a personality or they're an influencer, they don't understand that they're just people too, and they also go through real life shit,
Yeah,
which is what you're dealing with right now, it seems.
yeah,
And it's like no one gets to see that side of these people. Like they see the high moments of them,
yeah.
and they don't understand all the work that it takes to be an influencer. Like you're saying how hard it is to post this content every single day to be this
Hardest job on
creative.
the planet next to streaming.
But that's the point is like people don't get to see that. So it's really cool for you to open up and share that, especially in a public setting like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I don't care.
that's fair.
I'm a pretty open book. I'm not good at hiding my feelings.
That's a good thing though, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing. But yeah, thanks for doing that. It's cool and all, and it sucks when people that you care about do things or say things to take away that part of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's brutal, and I can relate to that in a lot of ways too because as a business owner, a lot of times I only hear negative things. So people rarely tell me like, "Oh, your gym's awesome," or "Oh, like thanks for doing
Tim,
that."
your gym's awesome.
Thanks, Roland.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
But the point is, like, I don't like I only deal with the nonsense most times. Like when there's an issue, I have to deal with it. When something goes wrong, I have to deal with it. So like you only hear those negative things.
Yeah,
So it's hard to constantly be filled with those negative thoughts, even though you're doing your best to grow things in a positive way.
yeah,
So that's tough.
yeah. No, that's tough. I guess I didn't even consider that as like a business owner, but you're probably the person experiencing the most complaints, and like it's like the same thing as like I feel like reviews online for like a product you buy are like biased in both directions, because people who are like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty good," like aren't gonna leave a review. The people who love it leave a review, and the people that hate it leave a review. You know, so like it's skewed in that way. And same thing like for you, I guess personally, is probably like you're not gonna get like the casual members that enjoy this place and think it's cool to come up and be like, "Hey man, like I really liked it today." Like you're gonna get the person that loved it to maybe give you a good compliment every now and then, but a lot of it's gonna be like, "Hey, this should be better. Hey, do this." Like, "Hey, I didn't like this." You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's always issues and drama that happen, and always the one that has to deal with it. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
draining to have to deal with all this stuff all the time, especially because like for what I do here, nobody's gonna care about this place as much as I do. Like no, and I understand that. Like no one sees what I do. No one's here every single day, all the hours. Like I don't expect anyone to understand that.
Yeah.
But it sucks when people who have no idea what any of those things are come in and they try to tell you things, or they have these they don't understand the full picture, and they just like they try to tear down or like come at you with the things you've done. They don't, you know, they just don't get it. It's hard. So yeah, I can relate to that, man. There's been many times where I've thought about just giving up and closing, to be honest.
Dude, maybe we should.
I'll move to Japan. Like,
Yeah. Heck yeah.
oh my god! But we can't though, man. Because like back to what I was saying earlier, without people like us, these things don't keep going.
Yeah. Dude, I've
So
considered giving up so much recently. I was like, I feel like I've put so much time into, like, editing some of these videos, and then I get stressed out if I, like, don't get work done because it's, like, all self-motivated work. Like, I feel like working a job for me is, like, easier in the sense of, like, it's so much easier for me to stick to something because if I'm, like, letting someone else down or, like, I'll get fired if I don't show up at time to, like, be at work or like I nanny. That's like my other job. Like I can't be late to picking up this kid from school. Like I can't do that. Or at least that's how my brain works. Is like I can't miss that. But it's like nothing happens if I don't edit a video. And so it's like hard to like motivate myself to do that. So there's days where like I'll sit around and I'll be like, I'm not allowed to do the fun thing I want to do today until I get this done. And then I get distracted and sit around and do nothing instead. And it's like, dang, should I have just not edited at all today and just like committed to that? Like I miss just like doing fun things every day. Like I hate having this third job sometimes of like editing videos. It's like I could just give up, Tim. I could quit my jobs. I could work at the Lego store and come home and I could just hang out with my friends and do a movie night every night.
yeah, but would that make you happy though? Because you were just talking about how
Yes.
would it though? Because you said how you want purpose, how you want something that's gonna actually give you meaning, and it's like you're working towards something.
My biggest purpose from when I was 18 to 22 is to have as much fun as possible, and I was so happy. Dude, maybe I should give up. A great therapy session.
No, don't give up. Oh my god. Well, I think there's a point that which you should give up, to be honest. And I'm not. So listen, I'm gonna.
Hell yeah.
As an aside.
Woo! I got permission from Timmy.
No, the point is like, I think there comes to a point when you're seriously burned out. You have two choices. You either you give up, you throw in the towel, or you refine the passion that made you start it in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think
That Alyssa
maybe you're
Liu vibe.
sure. Is that what you said? Or
Well,
said?
she like was like the like world champion or something like
Oh, I
4
do remember
years
hearing
ago,
about
and
this.
she like quit because she didn't like it,
Oh,
and then
that's
she
right.
came back and like did her own song and dance, and like
Yeah.
she like just wanted to do it because she wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and she was still the champ.
Yeah. That's
Shout out to the
crazy.
goat.
The goat, yeah.
Yeah.
But point being is it sounds like you're almost at that crossroad. Maybe you are there now.
Dude, I don't know. We'll see, but I like have to do it because I have to like make money. Like I don't, but I do.
Yeah, but it just yeah.
It's like, do that or go back to living in poverty, which, like, wasn't that bad at times. I, like, have so much freedom now that I wouldn't wanna, like, give up. Like, I can travel to all these events, like, and go to more comps and go to, like, more countries, and, like, I've gotten a bunch of great experiences from it for sure.
I think the thing that has helped me, maybe it'll help you, is, like, obviously, the negative things happen. People say things, you lose friends, people whatever, the things we've been discussing,
Yeah.
but it's important to not focus on those things. Because
Yeah.
the second you focus on it and it grows and it just takes over your mindset for that day. It makes you so negative and this and that. Like, if you can focus on the positives or focus on the things that you enjoy about it, it's gonna make doing that thing better and henceforth be less difficult for you to have to do every day.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just finding a part of editing or whatever that keeps you going back into it.
Yeah. I definitely try different systems that, like, work for a period of time. I think I always just need to, like, change something up to, like,
Yeah.
find a new thing that works for a month or 2 and then change it. Um, I guess a better explanation would be, like, I have a complete lack of community in my life, and I feel like I miss that. I miss having, like, a friend group or, like, people that I hang out with or, like, doing a movie night every week, and I feel like having this, like, extra, like, editing stuff to do, like, takes away from that a lot.
That makes
And it's
sense.
hard to balance. I have a work-life balance that I am struggling to balance.
No, that's a huge part. And I think that's one of the reasons why I can keep going here is because I have a great community around me here.
Yeah.
The kids and the parents and the people on the teams, like I have that built in essentially. Because for me, I'm working so much, when even when I'm at home, whatever, doing so much stuff every day where it's like I love doing it, but it's because I have all these people that I do know support me and care about me and they've become great friends.
Yeah.
So it makes it way easier to come every day, like knowing that these people are going to be here around me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if
I
you
think that's
don't,
probably the biggest shift for me
yeah,
in the last few years.
is just losing not having that
Yeah, I just don't have, like, a community anymore.
community is so huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dude, you should move here,
Yeah, I probably will move sometime in the next year. I don't know where yet.
dude.
You
You
don't have
should.
a parkour gym here yet, so
I'm working on it.
that's, that's probably the most important thing is in my life is having, like, a parkour gym.
Yeah,
Like, I know you can train out parkour outside and do it wherever, but, like, I need a gym. Like, I like being able to, like, even on days where I'm not feeling great, like, have really soft mats to, like, try flips on and, like, throw myself around and, like, that's the most fun part of the sport for me. So, like, I don't need to always go outside and, like, get some crazy clip or make it, like, this street sport. Like, I just wanna flip around.
hey, do it for you because it's fun. It's an
Yeah,
outlet for you. Yeah, it makes sense.
and I
And
need
that's
that.
yeah,
That's number 1 important.
that and community.
Yep, that and community.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like these negative thoughts you're having about chase tag and things you're having, it seems like it spawns from this burnout and this all these things you're dealing with every day.
Yeah, probably.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh
But
man,
I'm about to go to Europe for, like, 3 months, so I'll have a pretty good community all summer, so
true. I'm interested to see you coming back and how things are going to change for you, and maybe you'll
yeah.
be in a better spot. Maybe you won't be. Maybe you'll have. So Paul was the last guest on the podcast, and him and I were just talking about this because him and I, Paul owned multiple businesses, right? And he was owned a CrossFit gym and stuff.
Maybe. I know he owns a business now.
He's owned multiple,
Okay.
but his last one was a CrossFit gym, and similar to you, but I mean, to me, we were both facing extreme burnout at the same time,
Yeah.
and he ended up closing his gym. And obviously, I ended up sticking with it, and going through that was difficult for both
Subtle
of us.
flex on Paul, but yeah,
No,
continue.
no, no, no. but because earlier I was saying there's a time where you need to quit, and like I immediately thought about him because he was killing himself. He was super unhappy. He didn't want to come here anymore. Like
Mm,
when you're that burnout, every little thing you do seems like you're lifting a giant log, even if
yeah.
it's the size of a toothpick, because you're just so at your limit that any little bit past that is so hard.
Yeah.
And when it gets to that point, you can't keep going because you're only like you're always going to be more successful and do better in your life when you are happy and you're enjoying the process. The second that it becomes overload and there's this nonsense, this nonsense, this person's talking about this, saying these bad things about me, like it's a slippery slope to get to feeling that way. And
Yeah.
once you do, it just keeps going. That's how our minds work. I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like I don't have, like, no one's, like, saying bad stuff about me that I'm aware of, like, with any of the stuff I
Sure, I
make,
was using
but
that as the example. The point
yeah.
is like when you get to that point, like any bit of extra stress or negativity seems like it's the weight of the world on your shoulders, even though it's not in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that's where you're at, I think you need to maybe you gotta chill, take some time off, and then decide what you gotta do from there. So,
Maybe, but
yeah.
then I has no money.
There's always ways to do that to get money and things.
Yeah,
So
like working at the Lego store.
exactly. That's
Dude,
what I
I'm
was gonna
not
say.
even
That
like, I'm not even
I
joking.
know.
Yeah,
People don't know Roland loves Legos.
love Legos. It's become
Obsessed.
a problem in the last year.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
No, man. Well, again, I really appreciate you coming on and having this conversation, opening up and all. I think people hopefully can get something out of it. We've jumped around, talked about a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of random stuff,
A lot of random topics.
but it's been good. It's been fun. We'll have to do it again at some point in the future. I'd like to have an episode where we talk about just like a lot of social media stuff. So I feel like people would really learn a lot from hearing your input on it because you've done so much with it and all.
Yeah.
We even talk about Squid Game. We could still talk about Squid Game.
I
But
have 2 whole podcasts about Squid
exactly,
Game.
we don't need to do that. You're right. We'll send
Yeah.
people to those ones instead. But yeah, man. Thanks again. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Epic.
Cheers. Oh, wait, real quick. Where can people find you on social media? All these things.
Roland Hannigan on social media.
Great. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye, everybody.